What's going on, guys? Share, copy. Let me go on Discord and make sure people know we are live now. Hello. What's good, Unreal John? What's good, Celiana? Everyone, we are live right now. Game dev in general. All right, let's get this started. Let me... That link good? Yeah, I think it is. All right, let me pull this up on my phone and let's get started. So I can see the chat and everything like that. Let me get this going. What's good, Dave? What's good, Prob? All right, let me go to here. We are going to be starting momentarily. Just waiting for people to get in. What's good? Hi. How you doing, man? How's everybody's day going? We're gonna be working on some Project Evie stuff today. I figured that's a good name for it. Alright, here we go. Let's pull this up. Okay. On the objectives today, we need to work on a couple different systems. Oh, you're on summer vacation now? That's sick, man. Let me put this right here. Okay, cool. Alright, so for the objectives today, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with my item interaction, because although I make my items on the channel, like tutorial wise, I'm not gonna obviously have it as the same exact system, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. So I have an item right here, and what I'm thinking is, shout out to the person that sent me the UI database website, because that website is awesome. And I seen from Alien Isolation that they had like a type of widget like this type of thing when you hover over an item. So I think I'm gonna try to do something like that, but at the same time I might just pop up the key that it is, because after tinkering with this for like a little while, it's just like it pops up, but it never pops up in the right spot, and it doesn't rotate like a billboard would. So I might utilize this system if I can figure out how to make it like rotate and also be like efficient in the game, because I don't want to do it every tick. So let's go, Rianella. So I don't know, I might do something like this, but at the same time I could just do something as simple as let me go to the actual base item. I could just do something as simple as just changing this item inner interaction to just be the key, and then just making it like, so when it goes right here it's just visible. So like if I do this instead and just move it so it's just this, and we set visibility, because I could just do a billboard and the billboard would just update automatically, like it would rotate automatically. What's good, Romeo? Thank you, Mikola, for subscribing, man. Okay, so if I just do this, and if I keep it like this and then just set the visibility to be false, it would make it so it would... Could you check out my DM later on? Having some trouble with some code from a tutorial. I might be able to find it, but I kind of get flooded with people in my DMs about like videos and stuff like that, so it would probably help if you could send it to the code help section on the Discord, so more people could try to help you as well. But okay, let's see, like, yeah, so like if I did this, and obviously I'd have to make it so the what do you call it isn't apparent. So like if I go to the inner, I need the outer to not be visible. So if I go into the inner, the outer should not be visible and the inner should be visible. So let's see something. And it's still visible. Oh, it seems like it's good there. But this one will rotate with the character, so like you could do this. And what I'm thinking is maybe like if I hover over the actual object, I'll pop up like a menu down at the bottom of the screen, basically saying like what the actual interaction is. I might do that. Also, that's doing it. Oh, I know why. It's because it should be, the visibility should be set to be off right here. Hold on, let me go back and see. If I'm in this section, it's only supposed to be visible here, not here. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so when I step into the outer, I'm supposed to make sure that this is not visible. To be not visible by default. Let's see, maybe that'll fix it. Yeah, about that, I did the same interaction system you did, but the problem is you need to point to the item, and I want the player, if you're just in the, so he just can interact. Yeah, so the system that I made is like you have to actually be looking at the item, which is kind of like how it normally is. Is there a different sphere? Huh. Let me see. I think it might be because of this. If you want it to be like you step into a sphere and he interacts with that sphere, that's a little different. You're kind of just gonna make like a sphere around the actual object, and you're basically just gonna be like, if overlapping and if interacting, then you can cycle through your interaction and interact with the item. It'll be a different mechanic. Still definitely achievable. A lot of games do that actually. But yeah, the one that I made is more of like a realistic interaction, so like you have to be looking at it in order for it to actually do it. Like, yeah, why is it visible here? It's almost like the debug is not the actual debug. Let me go to interactions, settings. So yeah, I didn't actually set that up yet. Let's see. It's got to be something with the inner sphere and the outer sphere. But how's your guys' days going? Hopefully you guys are all good and everything like that. Let's see. So if I have the inner and outer sphere. Actually, let me make sure this even works. I haven't even checked and see if like the interaction works. Let's just see. So if I'm interacting with it, let's just make it print hello, just so I know that it's all working in terms of the interaction. Yeah, of course. Okay, good. Make sure that all works. We want to now figure out these icons, because we don't want these icons to be a problem. Let's see. So if I go to, there's no blueprint code in this, right? Yeah, no, there's not. Okay, good. So what I'll do is I'll go right here. We can see, okay, so on begin overlap, we want the outer to not be seen anymore once you're in the inner. And then you want only the inner to be seen. Same thing when you leave, you want the outer to be seen, but the inner to not be seen, which makes sense. By default, they should both be not visible until you step over the outer sphere. So when you go into the outer, you want it to be true. I got a good idea for tutorial game progression when having to go back into the room. Like when you enter a place for a second time, things are different, if that makes sense. Yeah, a couple of different people, they do, that reminds me of, what is that one game? Oh man, I forget what it's called. It was like a really popular game. I remember like some big YouTubers played it. It's like basically like exactly what you're saying. Like if you go into a room and you like turn around, maybe something will be completely different. That whole thing is based on like, basically the way that I would think you could do it is off of box triggers and basically just changing things on box triggers. What's good, Ragbro Gaming? But like basically like you would just put down a box trigger and you'd make it so like if the character overlaps that box trigger, you would change something in the level. And you could basically track how many times they overlap it. If you want it to be like the second or third time, you could just make an iteration, like an integer, and just iterate it. Yeah, I know, but most of the games just do the inner sphere better for the game and everyone you know, and I'm still a beginner at programming. Yeah, like I said, it depends if you're doing a third person or a first person game, but like if you're doing a first person game, most games make it so you have to look at it in order to do anything like that. It's almost like the sphere is right here and not there. Here's what I'll do. I want to do, when you go to the base item, I want it to print every single time I'm in the outer, because I want to see exactly when it's saying I'm in there. It's saying hello right there. It's saying hello here when I'm not there. Oh, is it because I'm upping the scale here? Hold on, let me see. Is there any scale thing? Interactions, settings. No, I'm not changing the scale of anything. Also, a door with key system tutorial would be great. Yeah, I definitely wanna do that for part 3 of my door tutorial system. I'm gonna make a some type of key like that, and then I'm also gonna make a physics type system with that door as well. How's it going, man? Did you manage to read my message? I don't think I did. I was telling people earlier, I get a lot of messages on Discord, so if you sent me one, it might be hard for me to see it, and I apologize for that, but after the stream I'll get around to trying to look at everybody's message. I'm having a problem with my main menu. Every time I click play, the level disappears. Are you sure it disappears, or you're just not in the actual level you want to play? It could be that you're just not in the level. But if it actually like disappears, that's something different. If you're using level streaming, it could be because you didn't stream the level. Like you're trying to start it at a point that's not already streamed, if that makes sense. Corruption. Yeah, I get the box triggers, but I mean like a box trigger for a jump scare. I thought about maybe adding a lot of box triggers when walking back and previously visited the spawns. Visited that spawns the box trigger. Yeah, I mean if you're trying to do like, yeah, jump scares are really good with box triggers. Box triggers are great ways to do jump scares, so yeah. How's the game dev going? It's going pretty good, man. I'm just trying to figure out like what type of interaction I want to do in terms of, because like, so kudos to whoever sent me the UI database, or whatever that website's called. This website right here. I was looking at Alien Isolations because obviously like if I'm going for a game that's like sci-fi with like some type of horror element, I should definitely be using like Alien Isolation as some type of inspiration. So I was looking at Alien Isolation's UI, right? And not to copy theirs or anything like that, but they have where if you hover over an item, like similar to this, how it like pops up with like collect motion tracker, right? With like the little key. So I was gonna do something similar to that. Also let me close Photoshop. I literally just made this thumbnail, so let me just close it really quickly. I was gonna do something similar to this, but I'm not sure exactly if I want to do that or if I would like to do just like regular, like if you go into the thing, if you go into the inner zone, you see like the little E key to trigger it, and then maybe like down here I'll do like a little text that says like collect or something, because I don't know, I feel like a lot of games do the same approach that Alien Isolation does, but I mean it works, so I don't know. Hi, what's going on, man? So the box trigger spawns once the guy walks back, but it feels like that would be so much box trigger coding. Has to be more efficient way. I mean, if your game is all dependent on walking backward and that triggers the events of the player, you could definitely do it a couple different ways. But box triggers are an efficient way to make it so you can organize exactly how everything happens. Like if you have a box trigger that happens right here, and then a box trigger that happens right there and right there, you can easily make it so like it cycles past each of the things in like an organized manner. If you have a lot of box triggers though, it'll definitely be very different. What's good, Honest Game Dev? What's good, Iros? To be honest, that website has helped me with making a game. Yeah, I know. That website is awesome, man. That website is really cool. Yeah, that website, yeah, I'll pull it back up real quick. It basically just makes it so you can pull up its game UI database, and it has like all of the UI that they have, like type of interactions and stuff like that. So you can really see all the different types of interaction that they have, and it's definitely sick. It's definitely good for like, I mean, I'm not sure you want to like copy any of their stuff, but like definitely for inspiration wise, it's really cool. Definitely really cool to take a look at, and you can like zoom in and everything, see how they do everything. It's pretty cool. Do you have a video on obtaining items? I'm actually working on a video right now for kind of obtaining health items. So like my next video is going to be an entire health system, and it's almost done at this point. Like with like dying, respawning, the entire health system with like taking damage, healing, the entire thing. except for like the blood screen, which I'm gonna do a tutorial on afterward and like add that in because that's a little bit complex to add. But I have an entire health system video that involves obtaining like healing items to heal you. But if you're talking about in terms of like an inventory and like managing those items, that will come later on. I want to make an inventory system eventually. I'll put it in the Discord so you guys can see. I think it's just to do that. That sounds good, corruption. But yeah, so I was looking at some of this and I just want to like think about which way I want to do my actual item interaction. Like if I want to do it like this, if I want to do screen space or world space, if I want to make it 3D or not. So just trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with that. Because like it shows up there. Also, I want to know why. Like right here is actually where the outer trigger is, but that doesn't make any sense because I'm looking at the outer trigger right here. So it's strange. Are you going to make a video about holding things like a flashlight, etc.? Yeah, I will eventually. Because I want to add a staff and make so you can use it as a glider. Oh, for obtaining items? Yeah. I mean, it depends how you want to do it, but it won't be that difficult. See, why is it doing that? It's like right here I can see the icon. So it's setting it, it's almost like these aren't actually, let me see. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna replace it because it seems like there's like something going on with it. Go to my blueprints and let's add this item. Let's go back in and it's saying hello right here, even though that's not where it is. Maybe it's because, let's see, if I go to the blueprint, maybe I can check it out. I've been trying to make different enemies for my game, since each level for my game are enemies, but making them all unique and fit the theme. Yeah, no, that's definitely a hard task to make everything fit. My advice for that, I guess, is to go for like, if you're going for a horror game, I guess go for like a psychological horror game, because it doesn't really need to make as much sense if it's like psychological, if you know what I mean. But yeah, sorry I missed it, but will you make a key system for doors? I can't seem to figure it out by myself. Yeah, eventually. I'm gonna make a part 3 to the door tutorial system. So like on my channel I have part 1 and part 2 somewhere here. It's like over here. I have part 1 and part 2 is also here. But I'm going to be adding a part 3 that's basically going to be having some type of lock system, I believe, and a physics interaction system. So yeah, there'll be something similar to that. What's good, Weapon Gaming? Yeah, I'm just using Google Images to get concepts. Are you making the characters yourself? Honest Game Babes? Or Honest Dev Game? Sorry. Let's go here. I want to see why exactly this is happening. Let me see. The base item is the static mesh. It's all 0.1. Okay, that's probably throwing it off. If I make it go back to the regular size, it's huge, but let me see. This is all 1. That's 0.15. That's 1. That's 1. That's 0.1. Is that the reason why? Let's see. Okay, let me add that right now then. Let me go to the construction script and let me just make it so I can, in addition to changing this, I'm going to be able to change the static mesh size from the actual child blueprint instead. So let's get the static mesh and let's just set scale 3D to the new scale that we want. So let's just grab this and let's just make it so this is a variable instead. So let's promote it to a variable and let's put it like so, and then let's just make it so it's scale or item scale, just so I can change it that way. I use Blender to make 3D models. I love making 3D models. It takes me a while to make them though. Yeah. How long have you been using Blender? Let's go, Z-Bax. You've been learning Unreal from my tutorials? Thanks, man. Hope they've been helpful to you. Alright, so I have that now. Definitely want to make it public so I can access it in the other areas. Let's see. So there's item, interaction, and then settings. So I'll just do item, interaction, and then we'll do mesh, just so I can change it for all the mesh settings. Around like 4 years. Damn. Yeah, I need to start using Blender more. I don't use it nearly enough. What do you think of the idea of this game? It's an idea. It is an idea that I do not think I have seen one like before, as the entire map is one small room. If you can make somehow a system where with the entire map one small room that the player doesn't get like bored, I guess, or if you don't make it like the same task. I mean, honestly, people will play anything. Like if you have a good story to it, if you have a good like mechanics and maybe puzzle or something like that, I'm sure you can definitely do it. Let's see. The background music, I have a playlist. Yeah, it is actually. It's like a game theme lo-fi version. It's like all DMCA free music apparently. That is funny though. They use a lot of like Undertale, like Animal Crossing inspired music, and they just make like their own lo-fi version. It's crazy that they don't ever get like any flack for it though. But yeah, I realized there was some from Minecraft and I was like, wait, I recognize this theme. This sounds really familiar. I have watched a lot of tutorials to learn and none stuck. Your tutorials actually stick, so thanks and keep it up. Thanks, Romeo. I appreciate that, man. Okay, so let's see. So we have that in our base item. So what that means is if you go to our item right here, we should be able to change that here as well. So the item right now is 0, 0, 0. That's why it's invisible. So if I do 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, it's huge. Should it be set relative scale 3D? Let's try set relative scale 3D. Not still, maybe the mesh itself is just huge. Well, we can always just change that per basis. We'll do 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. Maybe even smaller than that. Let's try 0.1. Oh yeah, I did use 0.1 originally. Let's try 0.1. So that'll make it so the scaling of just the item is really small, but it should still make it so if I am right here, it doesn't. There we. Oh, hold it. Wait. No, it still pops up right here. I don't understand that. That's strange. It has a Steam page. I sent it. Another Hope. It's called Another Hope. Your game. Why don't you make a tutorial for motion matching 8 directional? I haven't actually tinkered with it yet, but I did see motion matching. I was planning on making a tutorial on it eventually. But being as I just created my own system for like creating an 8 directional movement system, I was kind of like, should I make that now or should I wait, you know? But I am gonna make something on it for you guys so that you guys can use that system and everything like that. I have a couple of tutorials lined up for the channel, and the one that's gonna be uploaded next week I already had like 95% done. But okay, I need to figure out what's going on with this. So once I walk right here, it's popping up. So there's something wrong with the actual overlap, which makes me think that, can I click on the item please? Thank you. This outer sphere isn't actually like updating correctly. Like, let's see, let's put the 200 back where it was and let's save and let's go back and let's see. It's not mine, but I think it has a great idea. Okay, I'll check it out. Hold on. Yeah, like, why is it? Let me check it out real quick. Let me go to the base item. Let me go to the relative 3D. Okay, so the inner sphere collision is 100. The outer is 200 based on whatever I'm making it. Let's see. Is there any other code? No. What I'll do is I'll just go to my other project really quick. I'll just put it up and test and see if I put that in, if it'll just work that way. Let me go to my tutorial one where I make all the tutorials for you guys, and we'll just test it out that way to see how it's working. But what is it called? It's called Another Hope. I'll check it out really quickly. Steam. Another Hope. This is the game. Oh, it's coming soon. It's not released yet. I think I've... Oh no, I haven't seen this. This is interesting though. Oh, this is the one that it's all one room like you were saying. I see. Trapped in a doorless room. You must follow the commands given to you. Let's see. Looks pretty cool. Will you find a way out, or will the unseen observer manipulate you to your doom? That's interesting. So you were thinking about making a game based on this one, or you were saying, because this isn't your game, is it, or is it? Trapped in a doorless room, you must follow the commands given to you. This psychological horror experience will test your resolve and sanity. Can you escape, or will you remain imprisoned forever? This does look interesting, though. For sure, interesting. Why don't you create a component and code inside of it? I could, but with something as like simple as like a type of like mechanic with item interaction, I might as well put it in the actual item itself. I'm not communicating between the player and the item, like in particular. I'm kind of just worried more about the actual item itself right now. All right, so let me go to the actual first-person character and let me see the interaction with the. Or no, I need the item. Let me go to one of the items. Base item. And let me go to right here. Yeah, there's like no difference. What I'll do is I'll just copy and paste it really quick. Let me just do this. And try that. Thank you for subscribing, Bagya. So I do have this, don't I? Yeah, it's all named the same thing. So it should just work straight out the box. Let's see. Play from here. It's still showing up right here. And they're both showing up there. It works here. Everything here works. When I step in, it shows. But when I go out, and then it's so strange. It's so strange. Do you not have a line trace that perhaps interferes? What, with actually looking at it? I have a line trace that is for the actual interaction, but it doesn't appear, like the icon doesn't appear based on a line trace. No, I'm trying to make one like it. I'm just asking what you think of the idea. It's a pretty good idea. Oh, you might be right. It might be because it shouldn't be that though. It shouldn't be the player capsule. Capsule component is normally sized. Yeah, 35. About normally sized. It shouldn't be the half height. It should just be the radius. But it's strange. It's like I'm not even in this. It's like the debug is showing me where the actual radius is. Let me go back to this. It's showing where the actual radius is. That's why I'm confused. I'm gonna actually change this radius to be like 150. That's updating, right? Yeah, it is. Like if I do 200, yeah, that's all updating. So I want to see why that's doing that. So like if I go back in now, right here, that's so strange. I'll figure it out. Me and my team are working on Project Lucid development and post it on YouTube. If you have time, can you give your opinion? Not right now, but I can in a second. Hold on. What I'll do is this. I want to see if there's anything. I want to see every single time it's called. So I'll do like some print statements. This is basically how I like debug things like this. Like I'll just do a print statement right here. And there's multiple different ways to debug things like this. But I want to see every single time. Yeah, so I'm going to put a hello. I want to see every single time. And there's nothing run on tick right now. So there shouldn't be anything interacting with that. And we copied it from a system that I know works. Like if I go here and if I put the phone object, like for example, if I go right here and if I play from here, this will work. Like if I go into the radius, it'll only show up in the radius. So there's obviously something with my system that's a little bit different. In play mode, press F8 and then do Alt C to view collision and see if you're okay. Let's see it. You said F8. Yeah, or just that, yeah. And then Alt C. That's Control C. Alt C. I mean, it's not overlapping. So let me go back and see. So it's showing up right here, and there should be F8. There's no interaction. Like there's nothing overlapping, which is really strange. Like it works on every other project. That's why it's like, I think it's something to do with the scaling somehow. Which is strange. Let me actually go to my character. I'll stop it and I'll go to my character and check out my interact. Let me see. Maybe I'll just try doing this really quickly. Even though I know this isn't actually interfering. Because I'm not pressing E. It's not anything when I press E itself. It's just... yeah, it's just showing right there, which is not anywhere near it. It's almost like 2 times the length though, which makes you think that. F8 to detach, yeah, and then see if, yeah. But it's not though, that's why it's like kind of confusing. Maybe it's something with... let's see. Also, skip this song. Cool. Let's see the base item. Other actor. Skip player character. It's strange. Let's see. I want to see when it's leaving. Actually, that could also help. When is it leaving the outer? So this is leaving, and this is entering outer. Let's see. What I'm gonna try after this is, so it's entering outer, but it's not even close to the outer. It's leaving, entering, leaving, entering. Okay, here's what I'll do. I want to go to this, and I'm gonna make it, instead of it working in that debug, actually wait, right here. The radius is being set, the collision is being set. Let me go back to my other one. That's exactly how I did it there, no? It looks like the exact same. That is literally the exact same. Let's see, if I go to... if I'm debugging or not, I'm showing it like that. Did you change the collision settings to ignore everything but pawn? No, I didn't change anything like that. I can try, let's see. Let's go to my other project, obviously. Let's go to the collision settings. No, it's all default. But if I go to my actual, let's see. I wonder if it's something to do with this widget. I doubt it, but let me try. Is it visible by default? Should be hidden in game. Okay. Actually, let's make it hidden, but that shouldn't change anything. That's the only thing I can think of, because like that's the only thing I added recently. On the sphere radius itself, let's see. Where is the inner sphere radius? There's on the sphere collisions. See the actual collision itself. Overlap all dynamic, which will include the character, because that's exactly what it is here, right? Inner sphere collision is overlap all dynamic. Can character step up on? Let's see. That shouldn't make a difference, but let's see. Just a pawn. What did that change? Literally shouldn't change anything. Let me go back to this one. Let me see. I don't think that's the problem though, to be honest with you, because I didn't change anything with that. So I don't think that's the problem. I do believe it's something to do with the... Here's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try making another child. And we'll just keep it like this. We'll create a couple. And I'll just make it right here. Or I'll make it to this one. I want to see if the same thing happens here. So let me just set a mesh. It doesn't even matter. Oh, I didn't even set that up yet. Okay, let me just do 1, 1, 1. And it's always this block. You know what? Maybe I'll try adding that functionality too really quickly. I'll just make it so you can set the static mesh to be whatever. Set static mesh of static mesh. And let's just make a variable that you can create. And let's add that and let's put it right into here. So I can also adjust that. And we'll just make this item mesh. And let's go back and let's just change the mesh to whatever we'd like. I'm gonna try different meshes and see if that'll make a difference. Let me do something random, like that's huge. Okay, that works. And then let's go to this one and let's change it to be a bed, a very small bed. Now let's see if I go in, entering outer, and it's not even close. Here's what I'm gonna do. I feel like I'm just gonna delete all the base blueprints and then just recreate it, because like it takes me 5 seconds to recreate, and it feels like it's something to do with that. Maybe I'll just make a new, I'll make a new one. Ready? Here's what I'll do. BP underscore base item test, and we'll just copy all the logic, and we will see about what's the problem. Let's go to construction script. Let's add it all. Let's make sure that we create new variables for all these, and then we'll add all the elements. So this is a variable, this is a variable, and all of those won't have anything, but that's okay. We'll go here, we'll go to event graph, and let's just add all this, because why not? Do you have a line trace going out and it activates when the trace goes into the outer sphere? It shouldn't, no, because the only line trace that I have actually is from this, the line trace by channel here. That is the only actual line trace that goes off. So it's strange, it's like there's no other line trace. No, there's no other line trace. Head bob, but nothing that happens in event tick, nothing that happens anywhere else. And definitely not in the actual base item. There's no line trace. It's just setting visibility. It makes me think that these aren't actually setting, like their scale is all right. Their scale is all good. And like their children have different scales, so, but that wouldn't make a difference because it's not actually changing that. What if I make the static mesh the default? That shouldn't change anything, but oh, it's because of this. Let's just go here and doesn't make a difference. Wait. Okay, yeah, there's definitely a problem with the actual, so this one is 1 by default. Wait, I think I just figured out the problem. They're the same value. That's actually the problem. It is the scale. Okay, but I didn't set the scale there though. I'm setting the scale to be of just the static mesh, but now since the static mesh is the, yeah, that makes more sense. So that's not the reason, but the static mesh can't be the default scene component because then it's just going to change it. Now that won't happen. So let me see if I go back, if I just make this all, that's all 1, but now I can change the mesh like I would like to. Let's go back and play from here. This is all still gonna be a problem. I can just disconnect this again. Still strange. Okay, I'm gonna try to make that test item. And actually before I do this, I'll just bring in all the components from my other one, except for that widget, and see if maybe that's the culprit. Paste. And then grab that and then go to the base item and just grab all this and bring that in, because I know this logic works. So we'll just grab it like that, and then we're going to go to the base item and go to the event graph and only grab the things that I need. So I need that. We'll go back to the test item, and we don't need the overlap, we don't need the event tick, we just want to check and see this logic, including this. So we'll go to the base item and we'll paste that in, and we'll just see if this is working the way it should. We have to actually make the thing a variable right here. And what else is the other? This doesn't have a scene. Oh, I guess I didn't bring in the actual thing. So what was it? If you're beginning overlap on the outer, what is it gonna be? It's gonna be the outer icon. Okay, let's grab the outer interact icon and just make it not visible. Do a print string and plug in the overlapping actor for what is overlapping. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I could just check and see. It's probably gonna be the overlapping, get overlapping actors. Well, that's plural to get an array. No, it's just gonna be a branch string. How do I get singular? Because that's just an array. And I don't want an array, I just want one singular. Returns a list of actors that is overlapping. Returns a list of actors that this component is overlapping. Well, if I plug it into here, it'll just tell me, oh, you're right, overlapped actor. It's not even printing. I put in the base item test. Okay, let's see about the base item. I'll get rid of this one. This is the base item, so we can just now do this, and let's just create a child of it, and let's just bring it right here. And I'll just set the mesh to be something. So this will be 1 by default, and it's because I changed it here. I have to make them all public variables, and we'll just keep it like this for now. Don't need that to be public. So let's go into here and let's just change them really quickly. So I'm going to have this one, and we're just going to set the first one to be 100, set this one to be 200, set this item mesh to be whatever I want, like this little bed, and it doesn't have a scale, so let's just set the scale, and let's make it like 0.3, I think I put it, and we'll move it right there. That's fine, and actually 0.2 works better. And we just want to check and see if it appears, and now it should tell me a little bit more. So leaving, entering, it says BP. Wait. Is it the actual item itself is overlapping? Test underscore child. Oh, that's the overlapped actor, but I need to see what is overlapping. So your other collision is hitting it, looks like? That's strange though, that was never a problem in any of my other ones. Let's see. Because right here, so if I go to this one, if I pull this up, and if I go to my base item, and if I go right here, and if I want to see for the outer, well, that would be the overlap component. Results. I want to see something. If I do it like this, yeah, I want to see if the hit result is going to show me anything, or if it's the other actor like you're saying. Let's see. It's the phone right there, but then I'm looking for the actual other actor. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so then I have that. Oops. We can just keep on doing. Okay, so everything here is good now. So then I want to see the other actor. So let's go to the actual here, and that's not what I want. I want the other actor. So let's go to the other actor, display that instead. But it is the character, because that's the reason why it's moving to the true. Yeah, that's the reason why it's moving to the true. That's the reason why it's even firing any of this, because it is the character. Whatever, it's okay. I think the reason why is, I don't know. I actually don't get it. But this is game dev for you. I feel like it has something to do with the inner and outer sphere radius. Because it's hitting the character at the right position. This is the position that it's supposed to be hitting the character when it's in here. Everything in here, the logic inside actually makes sense. Like if I go here, this makes sense. It gets rid of that, it shows that. This all makes sense, but when you're out, wait, leaving. But then it appears again. Something with the character is triggering something invisible, maybe? Maybe. Let me go to my character and let me check out my mesh. My mesh itself is right there. All of this is one scale. The camera's right there. The arrow. Unless it's that, which wouldn't make any sense. The spring arm's right there. It's only... No, there's nothing here triggering it. And it did work before. That's what's really weird, because it did work before, but then when I started interfering with the widget, it wasn't working. Here's what I'm gonna try to do. Let's just get rid of this. And run. Entering outer. You see one thing. Visible in the game, no. Sure, I'll try it. Let's go to custom. And let's make it only the pawn. So ignore. Oops. Ignore. The problem is the inner, so let's do that one as well. Let's go custom. Ignore except for pawn overlap. Entering outer. That's not where the outer is. It's definitely something with this. Let's see. If I make it 200 again. Entering outer, leaving outer. Entering outer, leaving outer. Is that good? That might have been it. I can't tell if it's because I deleted the widget. Okay, so what you did might have just fixed it, but hold on, let's see. So now if I change it back, but it still doesn't work on this one, which is strange, but okay. The main one now works. If I go in, it's only when I enter, which is great. So now let's see if I go back, and if I change the collision back to overlap all dynamic, then we'll really know that it is. So if I do overlap all dynamic, now let's see, because that might have actually been it, but let's see, right? So we'll go back, overlap all dynamic, and we'll compile and save, and go in. There's no way that was it. Ground, you might have just fixed it, man. Good shit, dude. That's so weird, though. That was never an issue. I wonder if it's... because it's not overlapping with anything else. Overlap only pawn also works there, I guess. Let's see, does that work? Well, did I do it on the inner or the outer? Let's see. I did it on the inner. Let's try the outer, overlap only pawn. Okay, so... that's so strange. We'll go back to... so let's get rid of the test, and if I get rid of these, then the other one should also hopefully be deleted. This one is that one. And I'll get rid of this one and this one, because they're not being used. And let's go to it and let's test this out again. So if I go to delete this, bring this in, and if I change the mesh to be something random, like this cone, and if I set it to be 0.1 or maybe just 1 1 1 and move it right there, and let's make it smaller just so I could see the actual interact icons. Make it right there. So now if I go in, it's also becoming hazy. Like you can see this field of view, or this depth of field is triggering. So okay, so if I go to my base item and if we change it to be literally custom and ignore except the pawn, and custom ignore except the pawn overlap, which was never a problem before, but I guess now that fixed it. So thank you, ground. that's a fixed system. So either way, now I want to know if I should also put, and also I need to make it so I can dynamically change that. So let me do that now. So we'll go back and we'll go to the base item, and honestly I'm deleting all of this. Okay, and let's delete these as well, and we can delete these nodes now because now we know when it's leaving and going in, and that's all working the way that it should. So now what's really interesting is I wonder if I should do it like, let's see, so we're gonna have the relative item, we have the static mesh being set, we're then going to do the, let's see, so we're gonna have the static mesh, the scale being set, we have this, we should probably also do the rotation just in case the rotation is wrong, and we don't want to rotate it like 90 degrees or something like that. So let's just get the static mesh and we'll just set rotation, world rotation, and we'll grab this and we'll just promote that to a variable as well, and we'll just do item rotation just so we have full control. So we'll do item rotation and we'll make that public as well, and we'll add that, actually let's not add it that way because that'll change the thing. Let's just add it right here to mesh. Maybe something that has a bigger collision than it should. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Something's definitely, the collision is wrong, and I'm definitely gonna figure it out eventually, but it wasn't on the player, so it's strange. Also, make the scale 1 by default just so I don't have to adjust that every time. And will that change that? No, because I already set it. So let's go here, and so we have the inner and outer collision, we have this set up. So now if I do 90, good, it works. Okay, I'm gonna do a pickup sound and everything like that, but before I do a pickup sound, let's see, what else do I need here? I have the radius able to be set dynamically, I have the scale, the static mesh, and the world rotation. What else did I add here? Because I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let's go to the construction script. I have, so I set the world, we'll just copy this because that is a fine way to do it, but I think my system also works. Let me see. If I go to my system, set relative scale 3D, that would only set the scale. I need, oh, that's what I was trying to do. I want to set the location of the icons. So let's grab these two icons and we want to set relative location. We can just do this, and then we'll just make it so it's the inner and the outer right here as both the targets, and then we'll set it to be whatever location we want. So we can, we're just gonna change the height. So since I'm just changing the height, what I could do is, because they're both at the same location, right? They're both at 0 0 20 0 0 20. So cool. What I can do is we can just set 0 0 because that's what it'll also be. But this variable we will set as a variable, and we'll just change it to be the location or icon height, and so then we can change the exact height that we want it to be. So we'll do that for the, it should probably also be in settings. Oops, we do want it to be a float, but we just want to change it to be there. And so now if I change the height, so by default it'll be 20, so let me set that to be the default value to be 20. And we're just gonna make sure if I play from here, it's still at 20. So, but this, for this example, let's just make it 30, just so I can make sure that that works. And we'll save, and we'll go back in and play from here. Yeah, okay, so that's all working. So now what I'm thinking is maybe I want to do some type of, when I overlap, maybe I make a widget that appears on the bottom of the screen and basically tells me what I'm overlapping. Either that, or I do a billboard that dynamically, like how these are, these billboards, I do another billboard that basically makes it so I can see. Because if I want to do something similar to this, do I want to do it 2D or do I want to do it 3D? I can make it so there is a line trace, or I can make it so that it's a widget that appears on the screen only when you're looking at the actual item. Okay, in the meantime, is there anything else I should be adding? I don't need the debugging. Let's go to the event graph and let's see. So this is my actual inspect item system. Do I want to create that system right now? Maybe not, because I'm not sure if I want to have the inspect item the same way as that. Let's see. So if I have, I'm gonna close this, go to my regular one. So is there any other way that you guys can think of that I can like show what you're interacting with? Like if you're looking at it, I can either do it this way by like actually like hovering over the item or going into a certain sphere. It tells you what you'll be like, press A, for example, to collect motion tracker, right? For this example. Or I could show it on the bottom, like right here type of thing on the screen. Like it'll show up right here what you're actually looking at. Or, I mean, there's multiple different alternatives, but what do you guys think? You think a line trace that shows the widget? So if I do a line trace that shows the widget, it would have to be on the inner. I would have to get a line trace. And it would have to do it every second to see if it's actually hovering over the static mesh. Right, so like if I go to my first person and if I go here, I don't need this anymore. We go to started, and started would go right here. So I would basically have to keep the same exact logic and just see the break hit result and see if the hit actor is the static mesh. And if it is the static mesh, then I'm going to make the thing appear. But it would have to happen every second, no? So like, for example, if I did this, for one, I would have to cast to the, well, I'm already casting, right? Because I already have the reference. So let's see, let's just test it out. So if I go off the inner sphere collision, because that's the only time you should be able to do it, I could space this out a little bit. Let's do this and do it like that. Okay, so off of this if, we'd basically run a custom event that would be triggered every second. So here's what I'll do. I'll change this up a little bit. So the outer sphere or the outer interact icon would definitely not be seen. But the inner interact icon, if I'm doing it this way, then I really just want a widget to be seen. Just do it do once so it doesn't trigger every tick. But the thing is, I need to test when they're actually looking at it. Unless I want it to just be, because I would have to do a line trace. So like, for example, if I copy this logic, right? So if I do this logic and I can copy all the way up to here, and then it will implement the interface, I'm assuming, if I'm going over it. So like if I copy this and bring this over, right? First off, this first person camera won't be there, but that's the reason I would get this and then get first person camera. And then off the first person camera, I would go here. Right, so now I have the first person camera and the blueprint player reference. And so basically, I would have to call this whenever I am looking at the actual thing. So I'd have to call this as like, keep the same logic, just extend it, add a tag to the mesh and check if it has the tag, then do once, add widget to viewport. If no longer hitting anything, then just remove and reset do once. Let's see. So if I connect this, I would set the visibility and then I basically check, I do a line trace. And if the hit actor is equal to the static mesh, if that's true, because this is just on that, I don't need that. Well, actually I do need that. We'll do this and we'll go here. And if it is true, then I'm going to print string. But the thing is, this will only be fired as soon as I enter the inner sphere. Let's just see. So if I go here, want to see if the line trace has been going off. Let me go to the base item and let me make sure that the line trace is visible. Persistent. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. If I do it in tick, then it would be, but that's the only thing. If I do it in tick, then it might be costly, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it in a way that it would be like detrimental to the actual performance of the game. So like if I go here, it hit it. It hit it right there too. But it's never saying help, or it's never saying hello. But it's, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be, but my only thing is like, if, I guess it's not, because I would make it so it would be called on tick only if, let's see, so let's make an event tick, and this way I can definitely do it. So let's go to an event tick, and I'll basically just make I'll make a boolean that'll basically say, I have them right here actually, in inner sphere. So if you're in the inner sphere, and we'll check that, if you're only when you're in the inner sphere, it'll do this. It'll basically just call this instead. Yeah, it'll just call this. So we'll go right off of this and we'll call the line trace. Now I need to do it so when you're in here, we just set the inner sphere to be true. And then when we leave the inner sphere, we'll set it to be false. So let's see, if I go in here and if I play, none of them are printing hello. What's the reason why none of them are printing hello? Is it printing here, print string? Because then I'll figure out whatever the hit actor is. If you don't want to do it on tick, you can put a capsule collision on the player that acts like a line trace and use that to drive the logic. You can also do it on a timed function. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing. Doing a timed function, I was thinking about doing that because I utilized that system right here, set timer by function name, and I call this every 0.2 seconds. Let's see. Line trace is ignoring self. Let's see. Let me go back to it. Let's see. Oh, you're right, because yeah. Go back. Now you're right. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then what I could do... So that's not... Nothing is happening right here, right? No line trace is being made because it's always returning false, and then it won't even do anything here, even if I'm looking at it, but it'll only do it here. And I think the timer idea is a great idea. So here's what I'll do. I'll copy the same type of logic. We'll just bring this over. And we'll bring it to the base item. And this is being called in the begin play, so we can just do it in the begin play as well. Type of thing. And then the function name, I called it auto DOF. Where was my auto DOF? Here it is. And then it went off of that. So yeah, we'll just call it custom event. And let's just create a custom event. So let's clean this up a bit. Bring this over. And we'll make this go to a custom event instead. Is this connected to anything? Oh, that's connected to that. Okay. So we'll get a custom event. Oops. Custom event, and let's make it go straight to the line trace, and we'll just call this interacting with object or looking at object. Probably just spawn widget. So if you're looking at it and you're trying to spawn the widget, we want to do this though and make this all a function. So let's just collapse the function, and this will just be try spawn widget. Okay, so now spawn widget. Make sure that's called. What's up, Epic Nuke? Just clear timer by function, that way the logic isn't being ran when not needed. How you doing, Epic Nuke? Okay, so we're just basically trying to see that, and Okay. So now we just want to, well, here, do I need this? Hold on. Yeah, no, it's gonna do it. Yeah, okay, I figured. So what I need to do is I need to connect this and basically connect this to it. Well, the way that I'm seeing it is like, if I'm doing it this way, then I need to put in the logic actually here that we're going to do if, we can do it this way, right? If get player character is overlapping actor inner sphere collision, then do this, because that way I could just have it, let's see, so nothing's happening. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I could do it that way, and then now when I'm interacting, or when I'm colliding with the thing I want to do once, I want this to be a do once. So, well, actually, which one is running? This is running, right? Yeah, okay, good. So I basically just want to do once at this point, and that should only draw one, right? Because I don't want to create the widget a bunch of times, so I just want to, well, it's still doing it like that. But if I do want to print hello, wait, is it even printing hello? It's not, which means it was actually going to that false. This is a little better than tick, but you're still running that code in begin play, which isn't needed. So if you weren't doing it in begin play, then how would you do it? Also, this is returning false. Why is the static mesh not the hit actor? Is it because it's hitting, let me see, what is the hit actor then? Let's print the string. I want to see what the hit actor is. True or false? I just want to see what the hit actor is. Cube 4. Okay, what about here? Oh, it's because it's, okay, it's self. Okay, and put the function call in the overlap. So instead you're saying, okay, so let's see, we're just gonna go to the overlap, and in begin inner collision we're just basically going to call the function here. So it'll be like so. Now if I'm doing it like this, it's going to check it once and then tell me just once. Oh, okay, not that. Yeah, I was about to say, because if you do it here, it'll only do it once. So this, make it to here. So the spawn widget is the custom event, which is spawned here. Try something. Move this down just a little bit more organized. Go to here. Make sure it's looping. Point 2. Probably don't even need a point 2 to be honest with you. Epic Nuke, we're trying to make it so when we're in this inner sphere collision, basically it pops up a widget that I'm gonna have to create, like a 3D widget that basically makes it so kind of similar to this, we can see our actual interaction that we want. So like right here it says collect motion tracker. We're gonna make it so when we go into certain territories, like in this inner sphere collision, it'll pop up and tell me what the key that I'm going to interact with and how to interact with it, or like what exactly I'm interacting with. So like right now when I go in, let's see, let's go back. I don't have anything happening, but it's because of this. So we can do this now. So it's bp test underscore 4. So basically I don't really, do I even care what it's interacting with? Because as long as they're in that inner collision, I still want to just show it. Let's go back to right here. We could do that because that doesn't really make a difference now. So I could just do this and do this and do this. And we'll just make it so here, and then we'll clear timer by function name, and we'll grab the function name and we'll clear the timer. And where did you download your cursor? It's pretty cool. This cursor right here, actually, oh man, I forget. I think it's called like, it's something obscure, I forget. But what was that one website? It's like cursors, places to download cursors. Cause I remember I downloaded mine from Custom Cursor, I think it was something from here, and they have like a lot of cool cursors. I forget exactly where though, to be 100% honest, but they make like a shit ton of cursors. So if you have any type of cursor you want, I'm sure they'll have something. I don't know if it was from this website or if it was from like free cursors. It was like one of these. Forget exactly. Okay, so let's see, let's go back and let's see. Okay, so now we're clearing that. So basically what that'll do is when I leave, it'll do it, and then when I leave, it stops. It'll do it and then it stops. Okay, because we only wanted to do it once. Yeah, we don't even really care about this. So, okay. So we just want to do once. And we wanted to now show the widget. So if I do print string and just print hello, it should only print it once. Theoretically. Let's see. No, it's printing it a bunch of times. But it's because every single line trace is printing true. So it's just going to keep printing it. You also don't even need to do that if it's if statement in the function. What, this one? Yeah, this one, it's just to check and see if it actually hits anything. If it hits something, it's true, then I want to do this. The do once isn't going to do anything because it's just going to fire every single time it does this. Oh, this first one? Oh, because it is in the actual thing. You're right, yeah, because that's already being checked. This is checked from the beginning overlap right here for anyone that's watching along. Right here it's being checked already, so I don't need to check it there because the overlapping actor already is the get player character. So if I'm checking, it's kind of redundant, just checking that already. Okay, so if I go in here, it's just gonna make it so whenever it only fires when I'm looking at it. So like right here, it's because right now I'm not looking at what I'm actually hitting. I don't really have like a schedule or anything, but I recently I've been streaming somewhat more. I usually stream with my family's at home, but next month I'm moving out, so I'm gonna have a lot more time to stream. I'm gonna try to stream pretty often. Okay, so basically now I want to check and see if, let's go to try spawn widget. I'm basically gonna check and see if the hit actor is equal to self now, because that's when I want to show it. I'm going to make an if statement, and I'm going to make it so if that's true, then it will say hello. Because if it's hitting this cube underneath, I don't care about that. I only care if, there we go. Okay, so it's not going to show anything there. It'll only show right there. Now, my concern is I want it to show there. So now I need to make a 3D widget, which is like using the widget component. So I can get this widget component and I can make it right where the inner interaction is. And I want to make it in world space. Also, tick is still used. It needs to be an event and not a function for do once to work properly. Well, I think the do once isn't working properly because it's checking this every single time it's in the function. Since this just ran at 0.2 seconds, I think it's just gonna keep doing it anyways. Also, tick is still used if the note in your BP, even if you don't have any logic on it. Well, yeah, but that's like actually using nothing. Like you're saying this, even if it has no logic, it's still being used. Let's see. Okay, so what do I want to do now? I want to make it so, Yeah, it's just when there's nothing on it. Yeah, it's a lot less cost efficient, obviously. Okay, so if this is true, then we're going to print hello. We already know that works. Okay, so right here, I basically want to set the visibility to be false by default, and when it's in here, I want to set the visibility to be true. So now we know that it's true. So now if it's false, then we want to set the visibility to be false. So now there's no widget in here, so let's set widget. I had w_interact, I believe, so let's see how that looks. And I'm gonna need to change that widget to make it look nicer as well. So now it's not getting rid of it. Oh, it's because that's part of the self now. That makes more sense. Let's see. So it's because it's the self. So it's because when I'm looking at it, I'm technically looking at the self. Also, I need the scale to be smaller. Can I make the scale like 1? So, and let's rotate the widget, I guess, to be rotated all the way around. So let's just make the X 180. Where did that rotate to? It rotated that direction. I need that to be 0. I need that to be 180 maybe? We'll see. Play from here. I need 180 and 180. The only reason why I wanted world space is because the fact that like a lot of games that are like sci-fi, like because this game is going to be a sci-fi game, is world space. So like if like for example if it is like let's see, like this is all screen space, but there's certain games that have world space and it looks like really cool. I might, let's see, so like if I go here and if I go to base item screen space, let's see how that looks. No, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Well, wait, it didn't disappear. Let's see something. So let's get anxiety. So let's go here then, and let's just keep it as screen space actually then, since that kind of acts like a billboard, which is kind of what I wanted. So like if I go in and if I'm looking at it, it appears, but if I'm not, it doesn't, which is good. It would only matter if the player can move forward to see the widget floating. Otherwise, screen space would work since the player has to be looking at it to show anyway. Yeah, this is actually fine. And if I go out though. Okay, so let's see. So let's get rid of the line trace and we'll test this logic. So let's just set the line trace to not be persistent. Let's just make it so there's no line trace so we don't see that. And this is gonna work. One thing I need to do is I need to be able to access don't I have a variable in here for, let's see, I have a variable for, let's go to the actual widget so I can see. I have a variable for this text block and the hover icon. So let's make it so from here I can get hover icon. Hover? What is it called? It's not a parent or it's not a child. It's because it's a widget component and not a widget interact object. Oh, how do I get information from it then? So if I go to this widget, how do I get information from it if it's... This is the first time I've actually worked with widget components as compared to like regular just widgets. You should also plug in the false of the out hit. Right here? Well, yeah. I think it would be the same thing, but that is just good practice. So let's see. Okay, so that's all going to show. Now I don't know how to get the actual data from this widget now, because so I can't set it here. So do I need to actually make it in right here? What I could do is I could just create the widget, I guess, and just not show it. So like if I create widget, do you know any way to make it so that a first-person character can fly, but making them also glide? Kind of like astronauts floating in space, where you can control where you are going. It depends how you plan on doing it. If you plan on doing it like with an animation, I'm sure you can find an animation and just like, so for example, even with Unreal, there's, if you go to character movement, you can like change gravity like settings. But if you want to make like your movement settings like this, you can add movement input to like certain directions. So like that's how I did some of the tutorials on my channel with like pushing an item or pushing an object or like going through that wall or whatever. All those tutorials, they're basically just like catered on movement inputs being in certain directions. So you can set a movement input to mimic a flying thing, but I haven't actually worked on a glide or like flying or anything in Unreal before. So I'm sure you could look up like a lot of these things. You can go on like how to make character glide, right? In like Unreal Engine 5. And like here's a tutorial like from Ryan or Gorka or any of these guys where they make simple gliding. And yeah, they have like animations I'm sure they get from like Mixamo, and they do it that way. So let's see. Okay, let's go back and let's see. So I think I need to, in order to make it work so this base item is like this, I think I would just need to make it so I create the actual widget. But let's see, I'm gonna test it because I'm not sure if this will actually even work. Let's create the widget. So the hover text would be this, and I'm also gonna make the hover icon. So let me go to my widget and let's go to the hover icon. We're also gonna make that expose on spawn. And then we're gonna go here. So both of them I can set. So I'll just set them as variables, promote to variable, promote to variable. And now both of these I will be able to edit right here with the actual like interaction. And maybe I'll put it in settings, or maybe I'll put it in, let's see. Firstly, I just wanna make sure this actually even works. So let's just go here and I'll just set it as a variable. And so if I set this as a variable, I'll just do interact widget reference. And so now I have that reference. So now if I go to here, and if I go from my interact widget reference, which should be spawn, that should be what I'm indirectly using. Gorka, his tutorials, he makes pretty good tutorials, man. I haven't watched like many tutorials in a while for Unreal, but I usually use like Stack Overflow or like the Unreal Engine like resources page, where you can like get a bunch of information from people that work in Unreal and stuff like that. But as far as his tutorials, I think his tutorials are pretty good. What's good, man? I think you should continue making videos. You're behind you. Thank you, man. I definitely will continue making videos. Okay, so let's see if I can get information from this. So let's see if I can set the text, the hover text based off of here, and let's see if I can set it to like anything random. And let's see if it'll actually set. I would probably set this not here, but instead, let's see. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do it at the begin play or the construction script. I would set the hover text. So we'll set the hover text and the hover icon. So set based on here, we can set hover text, boom, and do the same thing with the hover icon. So set hover icon and set that to the hover icon that's going to be here. And what I want to see is if it'll actually update. So let's go to the actual blueprint now, and I can just edit this to be anything. So like I'll make it, for example, test. And now if it works the way that it should update right here. See, that's the only thing. It doesn't say test, it'll say interact instead. And also, why does it still appear? Like if I hold sight with it, it stays. So one of my if conditions isn't. Like, when is it showing up? It's like when I hold sight with it while I back up. Okay, so I think I need to do some logic to... First off, this isn't working, so we can just keep it like that for now. But I need to do some logic to make it so right here, it continuously asks, I don't understand what you're trying to interact. Let me see. I wish I could move that. Let me move this over. I don't understand what you're trying interaction widget. Yeah, so basically it's making it kind of similar to like games like Alien Isolation, where when you're hovering over an item, it shows this, like some type of thing like this, where you can see what you're actually collecting and stuff like that. So in making that system, we have to make it so we get a line trace by channel to see if we're actually looking at the item or at the object. You stop the timer while it's true, so it is never removed. Let's see. In the... Where did I stop the timer? Right here? Oh, you're saying stop the timer right here, so it's never removed. Okay. Off of this true, we're making it so the hit actor is true itself. If it is, then it'll spawn this. If it is true, then we'll do... I think some of these tutorials are not fully complete, like some things are missing, or it's just a base to get going, but I guess it's more targeted for beginners. Yeah, Romy, that's more of like a lot of people on YouTube do tutorials like that for Unreal. That's why I kind of like making my tutorials more like, I guess, advanced and like showing you guys each of the like the intricate things. So like a lot of things like I'm pretty good at. Like this is something I'm trying new for the first time, but things that I am good at, I like to show you guys like everything that I really know about it, just so you guys can have like the knowledge that I have, if that makes sense. But sometimes they just like to like make quick tutorials that are like for beginners, like you said. Yeah. Let's see. So okay, so on the end overlap, we want to clear this timer. And maybe also just wouldn't it also just work if I just set the visibility to be false here? Like if I do this, it's gonna appear, and if I hold it, yeah, that'll work. So no matter what, when I leave, it won't stay. Like even if I keep contact, it doesn't matter, it won't stay. So now when I'm in it, it'll appear and it won't stay. Okay, so that'll work. That works now. Now my main thing is understanding how to access my variables that are in this actual widget component. Okay, let's see. So if I want to access information from this variable, let's look it up actually, I guess. So let's see like how to access information, or I guess let's just do more variables from widget components in Unreal Engine 5, and we'll see if there's some... I don't want to see a video, I kind of want to see this. Well, this is just a widget. I need a widget component in particular. An interface or a cast? Yeah, that's the only thing I don't want to cast, but if changing variables, let's see. Yeah, I guess I would have to cast, huh? So I'd get the widget component, I'd get the user widget object, and I'd have to cast to it. I guess if I'm only casting once, it's not bad. Okay. Let's see. So we'll go off this, we'll get the user widget object, and we'll have to cast to w_interact. And off of that, we'll get this, and we will get the... So here's the only thing. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to do it in the construction script. Okay, that'll work. That'll actually be fine then. I'll grab this. I'll get the user... What was it? User widget object. Why did that not just pop up? Get user widget object. Am I not allowed to do it here? Am I crazy, or did that just appear? This is something. user widget object, and that just appeared right here though. Get the user widget object. If I do this, and if I bring it over to the construction script, so I can't do that there, but I could do it in the begin play, so it's fine. I'll just do it in the begin play then. I'll do it like this, and I'll do it like this, and I'll make it so all of them will just cast to w underscore interact, and we'll just then get the hover icon and hover text, and we'll basically just set those. So we'll set hover icon and set hover text instead. Set hover icon. So we'll grab those, and then we'll basically just set it based on the ones that we pick ourselves. So let's just grab the hover text, and it will only be called once, and the hover icon. So now we'll make the hover icon be E by default. So let me find that E icon that I have. Let's go to interaction essentials, textures, and then I think I have it in input, macro icons, PC, dark, and then the E key. Where's the E key? Here it is. So if I have this E key, and this is what I was saying earlier, this is literally a Minecraft song. Cool, so let's go here and let's just set it like that. And so we have that, and now the hover text, I can set this to whatever. So we'll just make it like that by default. But if I go to this specific object, I have it as E, and we'll just make it test, for example. And so if I go here, it's not showing up as the picture though, which is confusing. So the picture isn't showing up. Also, I think I should put in the actual widget, I think I should put a little background around it, like an image behind it. Let me get an overlay. Overlay, not hover. Jesus, can I spell? Okay, here we go. Let's get an overlay. Don't let this derail you, but a good way to do that stuff is putting them in strict so it's easy to access. That way the way you're doing works now too. Well, the reason why I'm not doing structs, I guess, is because something like this I could just set per thing. I'm guessing I could do that with structs as well, but this is like, I guess, like a dirty method that kind of just works. But I mean, I'm sure I could do it with structs as well. Let's see, so if I go to here, this is gonna do this because it's a horizontal box. So let's just go here, and both of these, if I need to do it in a smaller widget, right, I could just do it with a size box, can't I? Like, instead of doing a horizontal box like that, I could just do a size box. Either way, why is this not updating to this image? So I need to bind this image to the hover icon. That's probably why. Let's see. So now if I go back, there we go. It's really small though. So probably have to make that bigger, but again, it's probably because the size of the horizontal box. So what I could do is I can just go to, let's see. It just makes it easier to scale your project when you want to add more things to your UI. Yeah. I guess for the object itself though, I'm not sure if there's more I'm actually gonna add in terms of UI. Like, as long as you can go into it and I can make it per blueprint, per child blueprint, exactly what I want it to be. That works pretty good. Okay, let me actually set these so it's in line with all of this stuff. Let's see, so I'm going to do the image size, obviously can't really change, but I'm going to go to the actual base item. And where did I set the, let's see, spawn widget? Oh, right here. Let's set this to be, the problem with this is that if the game supports a controller and the player changed control device midway, then it won't update since it's only executed once begin play. You're saying like, what wouldn't update since it's only, you're saying this wouldn't? Oh, I get you. I see what you're saying now, believed. No, you're right about that. But the only way to change that though is what? If I put an if, and if I say, well, I could put it like in the in the game mode or something like that if they change to controller. Like if they change to controller, because it would just be this hover icon. So maybe I could put in the actual widget itself, like some type of like logic that basically detects if it has a if the controller's input. There's got to be like an event for like change of input though, like on input changed or something. There's got to be some type of event for like on input changed. Let's see. Not value changed. Not really what I'm looking for. Read any input key and check if it's, yeah, well I know I could do that, but my point is like I don't want to do that every second or like even every minute for that matter. Like I'd rather have a system where there's literally, I'm sure there's like a built-in event that can check and see if it's controller versus keyboard. Built-in event or built-in function to detect keyboard and mouse, Unreal Engine 5, but I'll just do, instead of keyboard and mouse, I'll do controller. Is controller or keyboard and mouse. That way I can just have it in the game mode. Yeah, if there's an event to check if it's controller, any chance you found out how? I'm also looking to do this. Any key. I haven't found a way with only enhanced input. I'm gonna use the old soon deprecated any key tradition event until I switch to common UI. In the editor, you can go to edit plugins, search for common UI and enable it, then restart. We're doing this with C++. Let's work for me on my player controller. You get the input device. Get most recently used. You could just do it this way on every move. On every move, you can detect and see if you're moving with the controller or if you're moving with the gamepad. And if you're moving with the gamepad, you can easily just switch. See, this is a way to do it that would make it so I could still run it in the begin play and then just still change it per blueprint. So what I could do is I could have a PC icon, like I'll have a PC hover icon, and then a gamepad hover icon, and then that'll make it so it can automatically change. Which is a bit complex, but I mean, I'm sure that would be a way that make it a little bit cost efficient in terms of performance. You could do it on move. I guess on move is a good alternative because move is basically being called all the time. Get most recently used hardware device, break hardware device. Is that common UI? You set the input action and it handles the icon based on something preset up data. Have you used common UI before, believed? Also, both of you, Ground and Believed, how long have you guys been using Unreal? Let's see, let me go to here and let me just test that actually. So like if I go to my input device, what was it? Subsystem. I'm glad you started, Epic Nuke. Happy for everybody that joins the game development scene, especially with Unreal. Input device subsystem. 1 week? That's great to see, man. I'm hyped for all the people that they're just starting with Unreal, especially, and you guys choose to see my tutorials. That means a lot, man. How long? About 2 years. I just read Epic's bad documentation, which I guess gave me more technical info. About 4 years on and off. I work in games though, but not using Unreal. Oh, you don't use Unreal, Ground. What do you use? Like a month ago, but been grinding. Was on Unity before, yeah. I was on Unity too. I had to get off of that though, to be honest with you. It's okay. I mean, this is always just going to give me, I mean, I guess I'll just cross that bridge once I get there, but definitely if it has gamepad, I'm sure there's other ways you could do it, like with the game mode or with the player controller. That would be a better alternative. But for now this works. Let's see. But you are right though, I'll have to change that. Now the main thing is like changing this image sizing so they can actually see it. So like if I make this 64, it's not going to actually change it, I don't think, because of the fact that, let's see if it does. Oh, it does. Okay. That's a bit better. Just how big is that in like full screen? I mean, that's not bad, I guess. Proprietary tools. So like, I'm guessing you work with a company that has their own engine, is what you're insinuating? This isn't bad. There's so much stuff in Unreal. How do I learn the best way? I already learned a lot through your tutorials. Best way. I don't know if there is a best way. Everyone kind of has their own path. But I would say learn through tutorials for a little while, and then once you feel like you comfortably have like a good basis, I would say probably move on to try to replicate systems that you enjoy or you like. And like maybe once you feel really confident, like even set like a timer for yourself. That's what I used to do. I used to set timers and like try to replicate systems in like maybe under an hour if I can make easy things in a certain amount of time. And if you feel comfortable enough to be able to replicate those systems in a certain amount of time, then like it not just you're using your brain. Like if you can also use Unreal documentation, if you can use the Unreal forums, like everything's to your disposal, even when you're working in a job in games or if you're doing it by yourself, you know? So if you can use anything and accomplish that task in a certain amount of time, I mean, it's all good. UI is a nightmare in Unreal, at least for me. I was very impressed when I got Persona 3 reloaded. UI, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there's an easier way to do it for what I'm trying to do with this. I mean, this looks fine. Like, I feel like this looks good. My only concern is if you're using windowed mode, it would kind of look like this. And I don't know if this is like the most visible. So I guess I kind of want to add like behind. So let me go to the widget, to the designer. So like this whole thing, I don't need this big of a screen. So like I could just change this, no? I could just change it to that. Right? And would that change? Let's see if that would change anything. No, it wouldn't. Okay, good. My main YouTube is Aaron's Designs. I'm just on my burner. What do you do on there? I'll check you out. Ah, I see. Some pretty cool stuff here, man. Definitely some cool stuff. So you use Unreal in your spare time type of thing. Let's see. So if I'm... Okay. Cool. So I have that system kind of taken care of. There's an event called any key, which essentially triggers when any key is pressed. You can put that somewhere and read key output pin and check if it's... Well, if I do that, that would be triggered every single time any key is pressed though, no? Which is essentially... I mean, at that point, if the character is like moving around and everything, that's like pressed almost every second. Not steadily, but if the character is interacting with the game, it will be triggered pretty often. I just watched a basics tutorial of 5 hours. Then I followed a tutorial on FPS games. Then when I completed the course, I just tried to do it all again by myself without help and force myself to learn. That's a good way to do it. That's a really good way to do it. Yeah, I'm working on my own game on the side. Good luck to you, man. I don't know if I can ask or if you're allowed to tell, but what games do you work on in like your professional setting, I guess? Okay, cool. So I have a system here, and this system is pretty good. The only thing I want to change is behind the horizontal box. So I'll just change the Z index. I want to add an image that would be anchored to the same exact size. So can I do it like not in here? I don't want to make it in here though. I want it to be... Can I make it not a part of this horizontal box, or is everything a part of this horizontal box? Apex, like Apex Legends? Don't want to fill. Just want to. No, that's sick, man. Wow, man. No, their engine is probably crazy. I don't know if... Is there like an NDA on what you can say about that engine? I'm sure there's probably something that restricts you from saying certain things. Let's see, so... I need this to not be a child of the horizontal box because I don't want it to be like this. Let's see. I can delete this and instead I just drag it to the scene. Can't even put it on the widget. Okay. So let's go to... You can add overlay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I add an overlay and I could just put this horizontal box into the overlay. Like so. If I just put... This is annoying now. Because I really just want to copy this and copy everything in it. And then put the overlay in. So if I put the overlay first and then paste, then that would work. Except I need this to be throughout the whole thing. Okay. Oh, I could have just did that too, couldn't I? So wait, let me go back. If I have this and I wrap with, I could wrap with an overlay, like you were saying. Yeah, it's the same exact thing. Okay, cool. Good. More you know, I guess. Yeah, I hate dealing with UI and Unreal. I don't know. I guess it's because I'm not as good with it. All right, let's see. So now I'm trying to make it so it's throughout the entire thing. So we want to, there we go. And then we want to now make an image, go in the background, and I can just set that. I either can do an image or I can do a blur. Now let's make the horizontal index -1. Can I set the horizontal index? Rendering capacity. Or is there no horizontal? Maybe this will have an index. What does your position look like there, Round? Is it like you work on the animation side, you work on the character development side, you work in model design? What does that look like? I don't know if you're allowed to say that either, but if you are. Where can I change the Z index? Unless I can just like set it. Let's see. What was your resume like to get in there also? That's so sick, man. Oh, you're a level designer, so that's what you really do. I see. Okay, so we need to change the Z index. Let's see. So can we change some certain properties in here? Yeah, I know. The Z order though is like not a thing. I can't change the Z order. Oh wow. Which Call of Duty? Like, excuse me, sir. Why is there no Z order? I don't know if I have to actually set it like in the graph, like, because can I just set that in the graph? If I grab this image, it's not a variable. It's not a variable. Well, that one is, but let me see. Oh wait, you know what? That's good then. Row 3. Let's just make that background color. Why can't I change the Z order? It has to be a part of a canvas panel. If I wrap this in a canvas, can I then do it? Like I don't understand. No. Like what can I, you should have the option if you select it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't even, Let's go to verse. Well, I tried selecting it. Like, for example, if I go here, there's no Z order. There's no Z anything. Let's see. How to access Z order with overlay. Do they follow the hierarchy order? Children of overlays respect hierarchy order, and the children of canvas explicit Z order. Of course, the forum is gone. Okay. So text goes into the bottom or into the button, and you set its desired visibility. Okay. Well, then let's just go back and let's just make it so it's... Yeah, I was gonna say, because that's really cool ground. That is sick, especially with Respawn and Call of Duty Prior. Those are like the highest stature, I feel like, of like any studio. Okay, cool. So if I'm gonna do something instead, let's see. So if I grab both of these and if I just wrap with something else, what if I wrap with the canvas panel, and then if I get rid of this, oops, just make that go out of it. Let's see, I'll just copy this instead. I'll copy this, and I'll copy and then delete and then delete and then paste. And then if I change this, I could change it to here, and then I could just grab this back and then full, and then 0, 0, and then I could just make the Z order go -1 on that. -2. It's white, so you can't really see it, so I just have to change the appearance, the brush, the tint, make it 0.1. So now you can barely see it, but now this needs to be... Is there padding? Horizontal box has that padding. Wait, no. I need the anchor to be full as well. 0, 0. Great, there we go. Okay, so now I need to let's see. Ah, I see. Basically, yeah, I just basically wanted to change the Z index so I could add a background color behind it. I'm just gonna make this a black and now have like a tinted black behind it, which will work pretty well. I might have it more than 0.1 though, maybe 0.3. Let's see how that looks in game now. So now if I go here and if I play from here, well, that's not what we want. So let's adjust that. I think it's because it's going to the full screen and I don't want it to go full. I only kind of want it to be, see, the horizontal box. The canvas panel is really the problem. Let's go, Dominic. Okay, so if we want it to be not that size, so let me see, why is it making it that size? It's going like huge. Okay, so I have to change the main thing is the actual image. This image is going to be huge instead of top right corner instead of full screen. Let's do it. Position, no, return that back to what it was. Let's see. You know what, I have an idea. It's not that, but it's instead like right here, because that's where we want it to go to every time. There we go. I just have to make it bigger now. Thanks, man. Good seeing you, Ground. Thank you for helping too, dude. That helps a lot. Can you make tutorials for Horror Engine? In the future, definitely. But I mean, as of right now, I'm kind of more focused on like I guess what I'm doing, and like not as much on Core Engine. Like I'm trying to make my own type of my own type of like interface or template that you can like go upon. So let's see, let's try changing the size of this. So let's try like instead like 60 or so. And making the position Y 0. So then, oh no, I guess negative 40. Negative 30? So like now it's more high and low, so that'll be like a better sizing. And then let's make the size X about like 250. And then make the offset a little bit more on that side. So like maybe negative 10, maybe negative 5. So let's see. I could have just changed the alignment as well. So if I go in, it looks a bit better. Maybe I shouldn't have it on the left. This one's more for my game. So this one isn't one that's going to be in the actual tutorial series, but if people want to see something like this, I could definitely make something similar to this. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to have it on the left. Rather, we're just going to have it on the right. So let's keep it like this. 0. And we're going to go in and see this. What do we think of this? Do we think this looks clean? Let's see. If I change it from instead test to interact. Let's go, Caden. If I do interact instead, how does that look? Play from here. I go full screen. What do we think of that? I feel like there's a little bit of that behind on the left, so I'm gonna change that up a little bit. So let's see, size X, let's make it 240 instead. Is it going more right? It's like, because it's drifting to the left, that's what's gonna happen since I anchored it on the left side. So I think I have to make it the exact size of this actual horizontal box. So let's try 230 or 230. No, maybe 235. Yeah, that's about it. If I, you know what, that's a good idea. Let me try that. I definitely could make it fade as well. Let's see. So if I do the highlight on the text, though, I don't know if I can make it fade. Also, if it's a highlight on the text, it'll only show right here. But maybe that'll look good. Let's see. Let's try to do this, and let's just make a highlight on the text. The font, not an outline. Let's see, shadow offset, shadow color. Let's see, text. Behavior. Simple text mode, transform. I've never used that. How do you even highlight that? When do you plan on releasing, and what do you do to stay focused and motivated? I mean, I don't really have like a good way to stay focused and motivated. I guess I just kind of like, it's not really a good thing, but I compare myself a lot to like other people that make games, and like I see their games and I'm like, could I make something like that? And I feel like I can. So then I see the outline settings though, believed is just gonna make it so, like, for example, I make it 1, it'll make this outlined, which I don't really want. Unless it's like one of these settings. Like, let me, so this is off. So that's gonna do this. The outline material, that's just gonna make that strike brush. Let's try changing this. Like, that's not changing anything, is it? That's what I was thinking. I could do the border. So like, wait, could I just use this as a border? Nah, it won't work. Okay, so I could use a border of it, and so this is B0, so one of them out of the outline color there, but I could wrap this with a border and make that border. How is that going? Okay, so here's the border, and I could make the border have the color instead. So I could do it like this type of tone, but just change the opacity to be 0.3 or 0.5 maybe even. Now it's shifted to the left because there's no padding on it, but I have to make it like this, right? No. Fill? How long have you been using Unreal? I've been using Unreal for like 4 to 5 years, mainly focusing on blueprints, kind of making just like small projects, focusing on blueprint, like optimization, characters, stuff like that. But I've decided to really lock in and create a game. So this is my first iteration of ever like creating an actual full-fledged game. Okay, so let's see. So I have the border. The border is not on the actual text. So what I could do is I could just reset this padding right here to make it so this padding is now on the actual right there. 0. Now it's still not on the actual border. Let's see if I make it centered. Will that do that? No. Border. There we go. Now instead of that, just make it center like that. Okay, so now I have this. Let's see how this will look. So if I do this instead and press play. Maybe I'll just keep the original boxy shape that it had. So like, okay, let me just chalk the border. And just copy this. Chalk the border. Paste it there. I still have that. Keep this. Now that hover effect that you were talking about, Caden, is a really good idea. Doesn't help with motivation, but I watch streams, go on VCs with people, or listen to music. That helps me stay focused. You think it was better with that line, that long line? Like this line? Because that line goes out, I mean, too far. Obviously, I'd have to adjust that, but... What I could do is I could kind of do both. Let's see. So for some reason that goes out way too far. It's not going to work if you put animation. If it's instantly visible changing, then that should be fine. Let's see. So how is this background blur going? So it's going here. I think the problem is because it's going over the entire text, and since the text goes out like that, it's just going to keep doing that. So let's see. Will that fix that problem? So now it just goes out too far. What if I do it on the left side instead? Okay, so same thing, but that box goes out way too far, and it's because the text... Let's see. Yeah, just get distracted a lot. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, even me, sometimes it's hard to decipher whether I should do a tutorial or whether I should work on the game. Let's see. So auto, that might work. Let's see. Let's go to border. Nice, but it's only on the actual text and it's not full exactly, but that's because of the padding. So let's see. Boom. Make it left as well. Let's see. There we go. So now, wait. No, it's still going past. Okay. So let's do... Because it doesn't go completely. Can you just make it smaller? I could adjust the size. So like... Well, I can't adjust the size here because of the fact that it's using these horizontal and vertical alignments. I could adjust the size of the font, but the easier way, honestly, I feel like it's just using this background color and then just making it so it only fits the text versus everything else. Which would work as well. Yo, bro, I made the note system and I want to change the auto read exit key. How? If I'm not mistaken, the auto read exit key is, let's see. When I go into here, so the auto read, that's for flashlight, that's E. It's just the same button as the interaction. So If you want to make it so that you change that key, you need to isn't that logic in here? Let me see. Oh, this key, like where you read the note, or to actually leave the blueprint? If you want to leave the blueprint, then you have to do it here, the IA_interaction. That's how you leave. So you can change this to another key. I just set mine to E because that's already the interaction key. But you can change it right here, and it would change the IA_interaction to be whatever you'd want. But yeah, okay, so let me go back real quick. So in terms of this, let's see. So I'm going in here, I'm looking at it. I mean, I like the idea of having two different tones, kind of, but at the same time, remember how old are you? I'm 20 years old, man. I'm 20 years old. Okay, let's see. So let me change some of this up. So if I go to the... This border is the reason why, but if I fill this... No, it's not working. Center. Make it elongated. No, it doesn't matter. Make that center. Okay, let's see. The text itself is not all the way to the left on the border, so if I do that... Maybe that'll make a difference. Let's see. How did they do theirs? Just so I could see for reference. They kind of just have one that goes around the whole thing, which I feel like might just be better. And I'm guessing when you walk in and walk out, it kind of just like either shows or doesn't show. So I might just do something similar to that and just say like chuck this whole border, and then just make this darker, like make this like 0.5. And then what that'll do is it'll just make this not seen. So let me go to here, and I can always just bring it back if I want to, but let me just see how this looks. And can I adjust the size of this? No, I mean the interaction key, the interaction to E key, but when he exits the auto read, he needs to press another button. I'm confused with what you mean. Do you mean when he leaves, you want him to be able to press another button to leave? Yeah, Caden, there is. If you want, here it is right here. It's Game UI Database. It has like every game's UI database. I forget who gave it to me, but shout out that guy. He gave it to me in a live stream before. And I've been looking at Alien Isolation's Game UI database, and I really like theirs. So yeah, I just showed you how to do it. So like if you want to use a different one, you just go to here and you just change this from interact to like E key. And you scroll down, and for example, if you want the D key or whatever key you want, you can just hook it up to the D now, and if you do that again and you press D, it will make it so you can use that as the button now. It's very simple. You can just change that. But I'm gonna keep it as E. So I'm gonna use my interact, because E is set in my interact enhanced input action. So that's how it's set. Great, so let me go here. So yeah, that's how it looks. So I'm just gonna keep it like this for now, and we'll see how that looks. If I want to change this, I'll change it, but I think that might look good. Change it to 0.6 maybe a little bit darker. And let's see. Excuse me, sir. How does that work? Let's see. Is it anchored to the left? Let's try anchoring it to the left. Let's see if maybe that'll fix it. It might, or it might not. Okay, so that fixed that. Now the E is squished. Okay, so let's... Can I make that full on top? Bill? Nah. If I do that, and then... If I do this, though, I can't change the image sizing. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Okay, so... I think what I'll do is I will try to go back here. First off, this is a little too big on size. Let's see about this. No, I mean when he presses E, enters the note, and if he wants to exit, he needs to press D. For example, I want two different keys for in and out. Yeah, that's how you do it. The way that I just gave you is how you would do it. you would just change this. This is inside the inspect item. So now you're not inside the note item, you're inside the inspect item. So when you're inside the inspect item, you can press D and you can leave by disabling the input and enabling it back to the character. Again, if you're still having trouble, or like you can't really, if I'm not really making it make sense, you can go into the Discord and I'm sure someone on there can also answer your question. But okay, let's see. So, get me out of here. Let's see. So this, I just need to change the actual thing. So if I go to, but if I fill, it's gonna do it that way. So I need to make the translation higher on the, that's translation. Can I do scale higher on the y-axis? I could always do this, but that'll distort the image potentially. Let's see how that looks. Maybe even higher though. What do I do? 1.5. That's not half bad. Now my only thing is it probably shouldn't be that dark. So I'll probably change this to like it's like a 0.4, like a 0.45 maybe. And then we'll just keep it like that for now and work on another mechanic just to see. It's pretty good. We did a lot of good progress with that. So now if I want to make it so with the actual base item, we'll grab both of these and we'll make them actually not be hidden in game. So let's make them not visible. And now if I go into it, nice. Looks pretty good. And when I press E, just want to press hello. So let me just, does it go away? Should go away, but does it go away when I'm interacting? Should destroy actor. Let's just do that. So just so I know that the widget also goes away when I do that. Are you going to be using combo boxes for settings? I tried the tutorial on the settings. For some reason, it didn't apply their settings. It doesn't change the selected option. Yeah, I will be. Good. That works perfectly. Yeah, I definitely will be doing that. On the settings portion, there are also going to be some like, so like, for example, let's see if it shows their settings here. Settings. So like some of them are good for combo boxes. Some of them are like sliders like this. Some of them are just like arrows for the left and right that are, most people like these instead of combo boxes, to be honest. Like most games do like things like this with the arrows instead of combo boxes. So I might make a tutorial on how to use these instead. I was gonna make a second part of the settings tutorial, and a couple of people have said me like, or said to me that certain things that they were trying to do doesn't really work. So I was gonna try to fix those things as well. Yeah, they are. Certain things, yeah, don't need combo boxes. So okay, let's see. One thing I do want to see though is if I go to Sketchfab, there's that one, if you were in the last live stream, I talked about it, but there's like a tablet that I plan on doing the UI with, like actual like inventory and stuff. I'm thinking about using this one. Now, if I use this one, I'll need to put a mesh on top of this in order to actually view the UI. And I would need to, his name is Blender 3D. What kind of commercial project would you mind? You need to credit him. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about using this one. What I want to see though, 15,000 triangles isn't bad since I'm not creating a bunch of them, but that is kind of high for the triangle count. So I would like for a mesh that doesn't have as many triangles, ideally. Like this one is 1,000, but obviously doesn't look as good. So I don't know. I might just try to work with this one and see what I can do. So what I'll do is let's just download it really quickly, and it is an OBJ. So and what I do, this is also a good suggestion for most of you guys. Let's go PyCore. Most of you guys, I would suggest, like, if you want to actually make it so you remember, if you're using meshes from Sketchfab, you can always, I like to add them to a certain like category. So like, for example, I add them to the Evie category, so then I know when I'm done for my credits, I can add them all to the same credits. You don't need a mesh on top, just render it with world space and enable hardware input on it. Are you talking about, well, I'm planning on doing something similar to, so I'll show you. There is right here in the code things game section, there's going to be something similar to this type of thing where like, it's not gonna be super similar, but if you press a key, it's basically gonna make it so that type of thing happens, where it comes up to the top of the screen and you can interact with that. So the point is the hands are going to be on the left and the right side, so then you can interact with it that way. And yeah, can't you remesh the triangles? You could, but the only thing about remeshing the triangles is, for one, it takes a little bit of time. It's not too hard, but it takes a little bit of time. And for two, it could mess up the textures. Yeah, they just did it like a widget, but certain people do it like, and also they put a widget on top, but the whole thing isn't just a widget. I haven't used the modeling tool that much in Unreal, but potentially. Let's see. So if I go here, and if I go to content, and if I go to my environments, and if I go to Sketchfab, let's add a tablet section. Because, and also it's more about like immersion, believe, like kind of like making it so you can see the hands pull up the tablet and everything like that. Like that makes it more immersive for the character. Plus, if it's not something that's that hard to create, I might as well do something like that. Yeah, I'm actually not on 5.4 though, PyCore. I'm on 5.3 still. When I try to go to 5.4, certain things I feel like don't really work the same. But I might change it in the future. Wow, okay. There's a lot of materials on this. So let's bring this in. And let's just import it. It brought all the materials in. I'm just gonna have to import all the actual images. It's right here, and these, and we'll bring them all in. But before I bring them in, let me make a materials, bring all the materials in to materials. Yeah, I don't use 5.4 yet, Kaden. It's a lot. I don't know. I like 5.4. They have a couple of optimization improvements that I really like, but when I tried to use it, it messed with a lot of my lighting, and it made actually a couple of my blueprints not work anymore. I'm not really sure exactly what it changed, but how did you change back? When I try to change to a previous version, it will only let me go to 3 point something. No, I understand rendering the widget on top. I understand that part, believed. I'm just saying I need to actually get the actual mesh of the tablet into the game, so then I can use the hands to pull it up and then put the widget on top of the screen. Of course, there would have to be a widget involved. I have more bugs on 5.2, so I decided to move to 5.4. Yeah, I've been using 5.3 for a while now. Okay, so now I just need to adjust all these, which might take a minute, but it'll be okay. So the big button is using these three. So let's just bring them in, go to big button, and get rid of all of these ones. What is this? Wait, let me go to the actual tablet itself. Excuse me, tablet. Oh, did it try to mimic the colors? Okay, that's strange. Do you animate in engine or Blender? I animate all in the engine. Like when I do my animations, if you see, like, for example, with my latest video right here, the animation for this is all in the actual engine right here. It's like, it takes time, but I just create the animation in the actual engine with like keyframes and everything like that. With the actual rig, because the rigging makes it really easy. So I just do it there. It's a little bit easier that way. So cool. Let's go some of this. We know this already. This guy's pretty cool, by the way. This guy was super sick. We know this already, so we're gonna go into here. I'm actually just gonna put the textures. It seems like it applied a texture that matches the color that it already gave, but it's not the actual one right here. So we'll just fuck that, bring that up. This is the normal. Bring this right into the normal. This is the diffuse, right? No, this is the roughness. Wait, so maybe, oh, I think I understand. Bring back all those nodes. This is the normal. This is, oopsie dude. The rig is an amazing tool. Yeah, it really is. So is reinstalling Unreal Engine the only way to go to previous UE5 version? No, you can, okay, so I'll show you a little method. You can always, if you have a previous UE5 version, you can always go right here and go to like UE 5.3.2 or 4.2.7, and you can press launch, and it will launch the project like window where you can see all your projects, and you can try to open one up from there. And if you do that, I think it'll say like, yeah, but that doesn't show up when I click the drop down arrow. Do you have the other engines downloaded up here? If you do, then it should pop up with the drop down arrow. Okay, let's see. So what I'm trying to do is just go into here. So it seems like they gave the actual, so where's this base color going? What the hell? That's so strange. I don't know why I did that. No, I just clicked update. I don't know. Let me go to task manager really quickly. I want to see if it's loading in that other Unreal. Yeah, here it is. Which one is Unreal Engine? Oh no, that's my other Unreal project. Let me close this, by the way. Not using that. Is Unreal Engine 4 starting? I don't even know if it is. I need to save content. Save. Because I started that, but I don't see that thing. Sometimes it takes a while for that to load up, like that launch system. Oh, here it is. UE4 prerequisites. Bruh, it's gonna make me do all the UE4 prerequisites again. Okay. So it seems like, for whatever reason, it has all of this in here already, which is confusing. I wonder why it already has that. Hi, quick question. What is the Black Ops Zombies project you have? So I have a couple of like Black Ops projects that I was working on originally. In my library, I have a couple of them. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a video on the channel somewhat soon about replicating Black Ops Zombies in like 48 hours or something. But I basically just like tinkered around with trying to find the map because the hardest thing with Black Ops Zombies is to find the actual map. You just seen I typed it in right over here. I'm trying to find the zombies map. And there's ways to do it, like to download the map and everything like that, but I basically wanted to make an entire video on replicating like a lot of the functionalities from Black Ops 2 Zombies. But the one missing piece, because I can definitely replicate like all the gun mechanics and everything like that, the health system, zombies with the AI, everything like that. But the only trouble part I'm having is like actually finding the map, like the download, like the FBX and everything. So yeah, that's the reason why I have that project there. And everywhere that I've looked, like some people, they have the project files, but it seems like they're just using it in like, for example, Plutonium, which is a way to play Black Ops 2 Zombies. Is like a modding community that made an engine so you can play Black Ops 2 Zombies on it. But yeah, that's basically the point of that. So okay, I need to change the roughness to instead be, so this is the normal. I need the ambient occlusion to go right into here. And I need this to be the roughness. So instead of the roughness being like that, let's make it like this. And I really don't even think this is the actual texture to actual mesh. So let's wait for that to apply. But at the same time, let me see if there's another tablet type of mesh. See, this one was really cool. I seen this and I was like, wow, that's really nice. Especially if I can like animate like fingers pressing buttons or something like that while it's like moving in the UI. That would be really, really cool. Don't know if it's particularly big enough. Isn't there a map extract tool for getting maps from BO2? Yeah, there might be. I mean, when I researched it, I looked into it a little bit and I seen something similar to that, but oh, look at this. That's pretty sick. I think there is some type of map extract tool. This is pretty good as well. Pretty simple, but pretty good at the same time. Let's see, are there any other good ones? Maybe I should look at like, oh, here is UE4, right? Yeah, here it is. So yeah, you just click on whatever project you have. UE4 is a bad example because it pops up only my UE4 projects. But if you have UE5, you can see like, if I press more, I can click on one of these, and I'm pretty sure I could just open the project before 4.2.7. It'll just say though, like you need to make sure you have a copy, or like if you want to make a copy, it'll make it that way. I remember back in the day when I was a COD editor, some 3D artist had some tool to extract the maps into Cinema 4D. Yeah, whatever he has, I need that, man, because I was really like tempted to make that video, and I think it would be a pretty cool video. Because I think I could make it pretty similar to like Black Ops Zombies, because it's kind of like a small system with like only a couple different moving parts. And I think I could definitely do it in 48 hours. But I just need the map. See the map. Let's see if there's any other. This one's decent. Damn, 30,000. Nah, it's on like something. Nah, okay. I'll probably just keep what I have now. I just need to. It crashed? Bruh, how much is saved? Please, no. Why did it just crash? Oh my god, let's see how much was actually saved. Please, bruh. Watch everything be gone. That is classic. Watch everything just be gone in an instant. In-depth true FPS system, please. I definitely will be making one eventually. Definitely will. Somebody asked me to do that in the comment section of one of my videos, and I told them that I was gonna do it eventually. Oh, it seems like it's saved. Hold on, let's see. Let's go to levels. Let's go to the test level. Let's see from there. Is everything still here? Please still work. Let's see. Play from here. Nice. Okay. Everything's still somewhat good. I told them I would definitely be doing that in the future, making a in-depth like actual FPS system. But it just doesn't match what I'm doing right now with my realistic first-person series. So like, once I'm done with this series, then I'm definitely gonna go on to that, or maybe not done, but like at a more like a better stopping point, I guess, like a better intermittent point. Okay. So what was I doing though? It was just in the middle of doing something and then it crashed. Oh, I guess making the actual Sketchfab tablet. What's the terminal though? Okay, that's that part. I remember that. Let's go here. Let's go to this tablet. So if I bring this in and let's size it up, let's just make it 10. I don't know how big I actually want it, but let's see. Which part is the screen? This part is the screen. Okay. Okay, let's see. So let's say like this. I just want to edit the actual materials just so I can see if it's actually working the way it's supposed to. So here is button 2. So here's bottom. Here's bottom. Here's button. If only it had the actual buttons corresponding to the actual materials, because where does button 2 go? Unless that's supposed to be the diffuse for the big button. Anyways, all these bottoms go to this bottom material. So we can open up the bottom material. And all these bottoms go there. So we can just bring all those to here. And it seems like all these have the same exact thing. Oops. Bottom ambient occlusion. Yeah, I know. Let's see the ambient occlusion. We got the color. So I guess I don't know what all this is. Like, I don't even. Okay, let's just do that for now. So here's the color. Here is the metal, so the metallic. Here is the normal map. And here is the roughness. So let's go to the roughness. And so now we can save and apply all of that. And so now, okay, there we go. We can actually see something. So, had a good time, but gotta go. And please, can you give me some suggestions to bridge gaps between my uploads for my game on YouTube? Hey bro, it's late for me, but thanks for all the videos and tutorials, very useful. I had 2 parts of your video seem to be buggy for me, but thanks. No problem, man. Glad you guys both had a good time here. Hope you guys come in the future. But yeah, I'm definitely, by the way, I'm definitely planning on making a part 3 to that tutorial, so I can make it a little bit more advanced for you guys as well. Gonna be adding like a physics door and also like probably like a door locking and unlocking type of thing. Okay, so it seems like if that's the case, then I really feel like this actually isn't right at all. So when they say buttons, I guess that's also big buttons, because no, there's also small buttons. Okay, top 3, top, all of these are so much. Whoever did this didn't really do a good job organizing all of the different textures. So let's just bring that all in here and we'll just organize it this way. So we have the ambient occlusion, just put that in really quick. I just want to see if this actually even looks good. Put this into the roughness. Put this into the normal. If you guys did come from like my tutorials, what tutorial did you guys first see of mine, if you guys remember? Here's the metallic, and here is the color. So here's the base. Okay, and then let's go to, can you make a video of how you animate the doors? What do you mean how you animate the doors? Like how to open doors? Like normally, like just simply open doors? Is there a regular top or only top 3? Oh, there is a regular top. Oh, how I open the Sci-Fi doors in my game. So my Sci-Fi door, actually I probably can make a tutorial on that in the future. I'm not gonna do that right now because I'm kind of just trying to figure out if this will work. But the Sci-Fi door is basically just like box collisions, kind of similar to the door that I made. What's good, Haunted? Glad you appreciate the tutorials, man. It would basically just be like a box collision, and once you enter the box collision, it would register if it should go up or go down. It's just move tos, or I think it's setting the world position, or setting the world location, excuse me. But yeah, I could definitely make a tutorial on that, because there is some logic, like based on if you're looking at it or if you're looking away, or some other logic that is involved. But the first tutorial I saw was your head bob tutorial, the settings one. Yeah, it's always interesting to see, because at this point I've made like probably over like 20 different tutorials, so it's always interesting to see like what tutorial you guys first seen. Okay, so I have top 3 here. Let's do top 3. Did I connect top 2? Yes, I did. Okay, so I can close top 2. We can close bottom because bottom's also all connected. So here's top 3. Get rid of all this. Let's go back here. Let's go to top 3, and let's find here to here, and let's bring those all in, and then we'll do top regular. It was your devlog 2 video. Just wanted to see what people were up to. The AI service you used, if you remember. I don't remember the exact one. I actually have to figure that out. But I have a couple, like there's this one, for example, I found a long time ago. But from natural readers, but I don't remember how good theirs is. Your head bob video was the first Unreal Engine video I've ever watched. Really? I'm glad I can make you get into Unreal. Greetings from Poland and keep up the good work. Thanks, man. Also, have you ever had problems with the sound cue when you place it in the world? You spawn player to it and it doesn't play the sound. I was thinking about spawning an actor and then making another event with the trigger. When I step on it, it destroys the sound actor, but it doesn't work. I'm not sure 100%. You should just be able to spawn the cue. Just make sure you spawn it at the location that you want to. You can like get the actor location and make sure it spawns there. Can you show us how to make a player control like in out of action someday, please? I don't know what out of action is, Skipster. I'm not sure what out of action is. But this one is, if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty good for like actual like AI voices. Like if you have like a robot in your game, I think. Let me see.
If you are interested in using our voices for non-personal use, such as for YouTube videos, e-learning, or other commercial or public purposes, please check out our Natural Reader AI voice generator web application. Our Chrome...
I mean, it's pretty good. There's probably ones that are better though, to be honest. You could probably look up like best AI generations, and some of them are really good. Okay, so let's see. If we go out of here, we need to grab the ambient occlusion and plug that up to ambient occlusion. Oh no, don't lag now, sir. Cool. Any game in Unreal Engine with a unique movement system? Oh, okay. Which AI voice are you using for your Evie game? I'm not even sure if I'm using this one. I forget exactly which one it was. I actually need to look into it because I need to make more voices for my main character. But I used, I think, like some manly, it was like some deep manly voice. And then I used another just regular female voice. I think she was British though. That is go base color. This goes to ambient occlusion. So let's make it go to ambient occlusion. This one goes to the base color. This one is the metallic. Similarly, this is the normal, and this one is the roughness. Apply. Oh, and the first video I watched from you was the Resident Evil door, but when the door itself, otherwise it won't respond. Why whatever YouTube does with this little like heart thing on the bottom right makes it so I can't read some of the text. But only works when the door mesh itself has a collision, otherwise it won't respond. That's weird. If you watch the tutorial again, or if you go into code help, I'm sure people could help you with figuring out how to change that. How did you learn all of this? I guess just over time, accumulating knowledge, trying to test things out, stuff like that. It takes time though. It's not something you learn overnight for sure. Okay, so that's all good. Let's go to, so even now it doesn't really look the same, but I'm guessing it's because of the shadows and everything like that. We'll try to figure it out. So okay, let's change top normal. Just change all of this because this is not how you do it, which means I need to change the first one as well. So all of these need to go into top, need to change that. Let's go here. We got the ambient occlusion, we got the color, we have, oops, bring it over, we have the roughness. My first tutorial was the RE interaction UI. Yeah, that was a pretty good one as well. The normal now, and then we need to make sure that it goes from the normal to also being the metallic. So now it'll have all of these. Great, so let's see how that looks now. That looks a little bit better. I actually really like that. Okay, so now we have that all done. Starting to come together. So we have the top 3, top 2, top 1. We need the small buttons done. To remove the heart and chat, you just untick live reactions on create Steam page. Oh, so what, you guys don't see it either? I might do that actually, because that is like a little, I mean, unless you guys like it, but at the same time, for me, it makes it hard to read some of the ending parts of your guys' sentences. Okay, let's see. So I have the screen. I need to set up the screen now. So let's change this. Again, they just put random shit there. So get that one, make that go to the screen, and let's add it like so. So we have the screen AO for the ambient occlusion. We have the color for the base color, and then we have the normal for the normal map, and then we have the roughness that would go into the roughness right here. So now you can see it's a little bit, there we go, that looks pretty good. Even if though we're still going to put a widget on top, but for now that's fine. So now we need a button, so that's the big button, but what about this one that says small buttons? How am I supposed to know which one is which? Yeah, I think it is annoying for all of us. Yeah, I'm going to change that. For the next live, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm trying to find a way to make the UI symbols fade in and out when you enter the interaction radius, but having no luck, sadly. By fade, do you mean like when you're, so like for example, if you're in this position, it doesn't just turn on, it like fades in and out? Is that what you mean? I think what I should do is I should make it so it doesn't, so when you're still in here, it still pops up the circle on top, but it just doesn't, like I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it like this system, but once you go into the inner collision, it doesn't have nothing above, it has that same circle above, but when you're looking at it, it only has this, and it gets rid of the circle above. I think that's what I might do. Saru, when's this game releasing? This game is supposed to be releasing, I mean, I'm going to try to finish it as quick as possible, but like working on tutorials and everything, it kind of like prolongs the development. Ideal goal is to have it done by before the end of the year. So if you want to get more updates on it and everything like that, I'm expecting it to be around like 3 to 4 hours long in terms of gameplay and everything. If you want to get more updates on it, I have on my Discord, I have a channel that's dedicated to Project Evie, and so, which is the name of the game. And I'm going to be releasing a Steam page for it soon with like some of the actual mechanics that I have, and some of the screenshots. So if you want to wishlist it and everything like that, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay, cool. So I think I might do that as well off stream. Like once you get in here, it still pops up that little circle above, just so you know it's something you can interact with. But yeah. Okay, let's see. So let's change the screws now. All of this, be gone, sir. And let's change all these screws to now just have this. Just so that I can see this in its entirety. So the ambient occlusion needs to go. Or needs to go there. The color needs to go there. This is the metallic, so we're gonna set the metallic to be there, and we're gonna grab the normal map, Bring the normal right there, and then grab this roughness lastly, and make sure it's all there. Where can I wishlist the game? Once I set it up on Steam and make a Steam page, you can wishlist it there. I plan on making one soon, so. Oh, definitely, Kaden. Yeah, you could definitely do that. This will be my first Steam page when I like set mine up, but I'm gonna try to learn every single thing about it once I set mine up. So once I do that, I'm sure I could probably help you out with some things if you don't already know them. Okay, so let's see. So I have all of this now. Now let me look at the actual thing. Where were the screws that I just put in? Is that those on the, oh, at the bottom? Okay, I see. Now what else do I need? I need the big button and the small buttons. I need to do those. What does wishlisting do? It basically makes it so when I release the game, or if I put a sale on the game or anything like that, you will get like an instant notification, so you know that the game is released, or anything like that. It also helps me out a ton. It like makes it so the more people that wishlist the game, the more people that can see the game and can see like the work I've made, which is really appreciated, to be honest. Especially since I'm dumping a lot of time into this game, so it would mean a lot if you guys could wishlist it when it is on Steam. So let's see, I have the small buttons and the big buttons. So we have the big buttons right here with the normal, roughness, and ambient occlusion. Wondering if that means that all the other just regular button ones means it goes to the small buttons. I guess it does. Thank you guys, man. I'll let you guys know. If you guys are on the Discord, there will be notifications once it is on Steam. I'll let everyone know. But it would be greatly appreciated if you guys could. It is free. Okay, so we got the big button. Let's see all the textures that are called button. I want to see all the textures that are called button. So there's big button, and then we have button 2 diffuse. I think that matches with big button. Okay, I think that also goes with big button. So let me open up big button, and that makes a lot more sense. Let's get rid of these, and let's grab all of these, and not this one. I think big button, roughness, I think all of these go with the big button. I got something about the BO2 map extractor. What did you get about it? What did you find out about it? If you found out something pretty cool, that would be nice to know. So the diffuse, and I need the roughness, I believe. Yep, roughness, and then I need the normal map. Here we are. Let's see, where was that even going though? Is that the back of it? Big button. Where are the big button? Like that one in the middle? I don't even know which one that was. Okay, so small buttons now. That's for last, thankfully. This took way too long just setting up these buttons. So let's just set this up so we can start actually utilizing this. So we have the ambient occlusion for the buttons. We have the color. Set that up right there, and then we have the normal map, and then we have the roughness. So then we're done with this finally. Let's apply and let's save. Okay, cool. Unpopular opinion, but I hate head bobbing when the character isn't moving because it moves the line trace along with it if you're trying to interact with something small or need precise aim. I actually made a head bob that so it makes it so like, so for example, if I'm in, and I'll show you really quickly. If I'm in the actual main map of my game, and if I'm in a portion where I need to have precision aim, like the aim needs to be very specific. So I have the blueprint right here where the aim needs to be specific. It can't have any head bob. I have something that sets, I forget where I did it, but I have something that sets the head bob to be nothing essentially. So it sets it to have no head bob, and that makes it so it stays still when it needs to be still, if that makes sense. But head bob is good. It just needs to be like perfected, because in a game where like for like walking sims, for example, if you don't have a good head bob, it can make the game almost unplayable, if that makes sense. Roma, if you want to, you can send it to me on Discord. That would be a great way to do it if you can. You should make it like $10 or like $5. Yeah, my plan was to make it actually, I think my idea was $5.99, or $6.99, I forget, but it definitely won't be more than 10. Levels, test level. Okay, cool. Let me just test out these mechanics again. But yeah, that's the price that I'm thinking of. Let me slow this down so I can actually manage where I'm going. Okay, cool. So what else do I have left? Also, if I go into cinematic mode, how does this look? Kind of the same. This is a really good texture though. I really like this texture. Okay, cool. So let's go back into medium just so I can be good. And let's make sure that we can go into this. So let's see. All right, let's see. So we're gonna go to the environment. Let's go to the Sketchfab environment and let's go to the tablet. So now I have this, which is the regular tablet. So what I'll do is I'll go to content, I'll go to blueprints. I can attack this multiple ways because if I'm gonna make it so this appears every single time if I make it appear every single time that I pull out and press a button, like I'm gonna pull it out when I press a button, I need to make it so it's attached. So I need to make sockets on it so it attaches to the left and right hand, if that makes sense. So what I'll do is I'll look at the tablet itself. So let's go to the tablet static mesh and let's see, it's very small, but that's okay because I'll just size it up. Let's see. So I think that's all of the material done. All right, cool. Can you show the wireframe of the tablet for a moment? Sure. Let's go to what is it? Oh, show. What do you want to see, like the collision? Oh, you see the wireframe. Pretty complex. It seems like it goes like so. Pretty decent. I mean, there are a lot of different strands, but at the same time, it's because of all the triangles intertwined in it. So I could put this in Blender and reduce the triangles. And I probably will do that before production just so I could save like as much performance as I can. But at the moment, I probably won't do that. Oh, man. Okay. So yeah, let's see. I want to put the hand on certain positions. So what I'll do is I'll drag in a skm_quinn. And let's just drag it in right here. For example. Excuse me. There we go. And I can just go into animation. And what I really want to do is I just want to create a type of animation where it'll, so let me go to animation mode and we're going to have to create a level sequence. So let me just go to cinematics and let's, this is just test. Those will all be deleted after, but we could just do a test level sequence. So animation, level sequence. So let's add a level sequence and we'll just do, it doesn't really matter. And let's add a track. We're gonna add the skm_simple. Let's do that this way. You just create LODs and set min LODs to something acceptable. Lazy approach. I could do that, but the only thing about LODs is it's always gonna be LOD 0, to be honest, because it's just gonna be invisible when it's not up close to the camera. So the ideal way to do it is like, it would only be LOD 0. Unless it's like really close to the camera. And if it's really close to the camera, then I guess I can make the edges or whatever like LOD 4 or whatever LODs I have, but it would probably always be LOD 0 in that case. All right, so what I'll do is if I'm going to make it so he's going to be holding this, I need to create a track with also the tablet. Or actually, maybe let's get rid of the tablet for a second. Or maybe I don't. Let's see. Let's just we're gonna test out a couple things. So let's make it so it's right here. Is that a good sizing? Let's see. So if I do it like this, that is the camera, right? Or that is the screen, right? Yes. So I have it like so. I'm gonna bring it down, bring it over. How long have we been live, by the way? It doesn't even tell me how long we've been live. Oh, 2 hours and almost 50 minutes. Wow. Thank you guys for sticking around. Some of you have been in here like the whole time. I appreciate you guys a lot. I'm gonna head out, have fun with stream, and I sent some links to you on Discord about the BO2 map. See ya. Thanks, man. Thank you so much, Romeo. I'll check those out for sure. I really appreciate you sending me those, man. That'll be a really good video. I meant if you want fewer triangles, then just use LOD 2 or something instead of LOD 0 all the time. Yeah, I mean, the only thing is I want to make it like as clear as possible, I guess, when they're actually utilizing the tablet. Let's see. When I do this, though, it's going to twist the mesh. So let's see. If I do it like that, that's not bad. Okay, so I'm going to do it like that. And then I just need to change the finger position. So the camera is going to be something like right here. That's not bad. I can just change the FOV if it's not in view. So let me do the same exact type of one. So right here, I have, let's make it something so I can replicate it. So it's 25, 0, and 75. And I'll do the same one on the other elbow. So we'll do 25, or would it be negative? Let's see. No, it would be positive. Okay, and then we're gonna change this to be negative 64, 10, negative 16. Did you change the bones to IK so the rotations and positions will be more normal in the sequencer? I did not, and I don't usually do that, but what I do is I just make it so like I just set the key, and I never had a problem with it when I just set the key. Personally. Yeah, hello, I'm back. I cleared my question in code help in Discord if you want to see. Yeah, I'll check it out in a minute. Hold on. Let's see. So I'm going to get this one. This one is 25 and 75. This one is 25 and 75. And then this rotation is negative 64, 10, and negative 16. So negative 64, 10, and negative 16. Let's see if that's even good. I might need to, I'm going to move them both in a little bit. So let's move them both like this. And I moved it, let's make it all even numbers just so I can know. 2, 7 is over more, and then negative 1 is like that. We'll do like that, and then this will also be 2 and 7 and negative 1. Let's see if 7 brings it that way, or does it need to be negative 7? No, 7 brings it that way. Okay, then negative 1, and let's try to make the tablet fit in that area, but let's see how it actually goes. So okay, so we have the tablet like this, which is not bad. We need to have the hand hold it a little bit differently. So what I could do is I can bring it down, which looks better, and bring it over a bit, and turn off snapping, and just bring it like this. Rotate this finger over, and bring those fingers in. So that first one's fine. The bottom ones need to be tucked in. So I could rotate them inward, and even though the character really isn't seeing that because you're kind of just seeing this, actually I guess if they aren't seeing it, I don't know, we'll still rotate them in just a little bit, and rotate this one. Okay, and then we're going to kind of do the same exact thing on this side. So you can see that on this side we can change this to be down, and over like this, and we want it to fit in that same exact pocket. So we want it to be like that, and you can see right here it's not fitting all the way, so we could rotate. No, don't rotate that. Let's see. If I grab this, I could just do it like this and then rotate this finger. That's fine, to be honest, and then we'll keep it like that. That's fine, to be honest. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll keyframe all of this. So I'll go like this, and it'll keyframe all of this. Now the point is I need to now make the pulling from down all the way up to this position. So what I need to do is grab all this and move it. Well, first off, before we even grab all that, let's move this sequence to not be 5 seconds, because we probably want it to be something more like 2 seconds. And that will be the final state. So the point is we'll go like grab this and move them all over. Oh, damn. I hate that when that happens. You can go all the way down. Oh, what is this? Delete that. Cool. We can copy all these and essentially move them all the way to the end, to that 2 second. And we'll want to have a beginning as well. So let's see how we would do the beginning. We can move this iPad because the iPad isn't actually, or the tablet isn't actually a part of it. So we can just make the hands go how they normally are. Which I guess would mean setting this to its regular animation. What is he doing now? I'm making the animation for what I'll be doing when I'm picking up this tablet, or spawning this tablet. So every single time I interact with like, my idea is whenever I have some type of inventory or anything like that, it's going to show on this tablet in like some type of 3D widget that you can interact with, instead of having it be like a 2D widget that's like a pause menu that's very like plain. Kind of want it to be some type of system that's a little bit more intricate with the 3D menu on this tablet. So okay, so there's not anything going to be animating right now because we only have an end state. We don't have a beginning state. So we want to do, and first off, what I'll do is I'll move it over a little bit because I don't even know if it's going to trigger right here with the keyframes out of it like this. So what we'll do is we'll bring them in a tiny bit to right there. Okay. So we want there to be a beginning state. Oh, I get you want to make it like Daymare 1998. I don't know Daymare 1998 personally, but if they're doing something similar to this, then probably something similar. Okay, so what we can do is we can just rotate the elbow back down. Oh, not like that. What we can do is we can rotate this, make that go back to where it was, make this go back to where it was, as well as this rotation, and then make all of the fingers and everything go back to where they were. So like rotate this back to where it was. And the easier way to do this is obviously just when you start, make a keyframe, and then you won't have to do it like this, but I completely forgot. So just go to all these, make sure that there's nothing here. Just go like that, and go here. And can the player move while using the tablet? My idea is it to be kind of like a pause menu, so like they won't be able to move, but that's the idea right now. They might be able to move in certain parts. I'm not 100% sure yet. Okay, so that's the one hand. This is here. That's all good. So the shoulder, I didn't touch the shoulder. So everything should just be very simple at this point. It's just making sure this is rotated back to where it was, making sure this is rotated back to where it was, as well as these. So that wasn't touched. This was touched. This wasn't touched. This wasn't touched. This wasn't touched. This wasn't. This wasn't. This wasn't. So yeah, just going through all of these, just checking to see if anything was. You could also do something like this in Blender, by the way. But Unreal is crazy. And you can do this in Unreal as well. Cool. So I think everything is back to default. Did I orientate that back? This is oriented back. Cool. So basically, I will now go all the way up and just set that keyframe, and now it should animate from there to holding it. Might want to speed that up to make it so it's not as slow. What's good, Panda Lover? Yeah, probably want to speed this up so it's not as slow, but essentially what we want to do. So let's see. We can always change this to move over and be quicker. So let's move over, bring that to like right here, maybe make it a little bit quicker, and then just change this to be 1 second so we can see. Not bad. As a first iteration, I'll probably end up changing some things and stuff like that. And then once you're in this state, you'll probably want to make some like idle animations with like maybe thumbs and stuff like that. Like on the side, you'll see the thumb moving or little things like that. So now, at a certain point, you want to spawn in the actual tablet. But what I can do is I can just save this for now. Right click on it, and how do you do it? You bake animation sequence, and you'll go to my actual animations. So let me go to my first person folder, go to my animations, and make sure it's all set up. I think I'm using the UE4 skeleton, so I'll just need to make sure it's compatible with the UE4 skeleton. Let's see. So if I'm doing UE4, or no, this would be UE5, underscore pull up tablet. I can't believe I'm listening to this. That's so funny. It's an ice cream truck. Okay. Export. So now I have that. If I go to here, if I go to my first person, my animations, you'll see the pull up tablet animation. So if I go into there, you could see it pulls up to the tablet, which is what we want. If you could also do it like, so it's kind of like downward and pulling up, which I might actually change. Let me see the animation sequencer. If I go to the beginning, I might make it so the elbows are more tucked in. So like it's more like that, even though that doesn't really look right, but the character won't really be seeing that. So I'm not sure. I might do it like that just to make it more realistic from like when you're walking, your hands are normally down. So like if I go in and play, I'll make it go back to here. If I go out of here and I play, my hands are down right now. So they should be in the same position when it goes up. That's the whole point. You kind of want them in the same position. You don't want it to be like randomly forced to a certain position and then pulled up. So let me see, where is my idle animation? Because the one I could do is it easy to animate characters in Unreal Engine 5 or Unreal Engine? The Unreal Engine animation system is pretty good. It's just like there's certain things that it might be a little hard. It might take a little bit of time. You know what I'll do? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna duplicate this animation. And then I think I can make it so I just need to copy these same poses. You don't want it to be right there. Ideally, it'd be like right there. I just need the animations to be this same exact pose with like the hands and everything like that. And then I'll just make it so it plays from there to the tablet animation. So that should work fine. Okay, and you're still here? Just lurking? I see you. Okay. I think that's good. Let's see. I think honestly what we've done today is a lot, to be honest. Let's see. This is a really cool system. I really like this, especially because now it's basically doesn't matter what we're interacting with. We have like this kind of interaction. That's pretty good. So now if I go to my character really quickly, I just want to see. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to play the animation because of the fact that it's, sorry, the tab key, for example. And I shouldn't have anything on the tab key, but we can play animation on here, and we'll play the animation. We might not have it pull up tablet. Let's see. Okay. So if I press tab, we can kind of see it now. Yeah, I'm gonna make it so you can't move, but I might need to make the hands go out more because the hands aren't in focus. Yes, I might move because the fact that my astronaut suit is so like wide, it needs to be out more. So I could simply do that just by going here, go back to animation mode really quickly. And this end state just needs to have the arms be actually out more. So you just grab that and move them forward. Let's see, we'll do 10, 13, and -1. And see how this goes. We'll do it with the other elbow as well, so they're the same. We'll do wait, did I even change that location? 10, 13, and -1. That should be fine. Oh my god, I didn't change it. I saved it without doing it. What an idiot. Okay. 10, 13, -1. Thankfully I still remember. You have to keyframe that in order to change that. So you go back to this one and you want to change that to be 10, 13, and -1. And then you want to make sure you save those keyframes. So now it'll go like this to that. But again, I kind of want the beginning state to be its hands down instead. So shoulder. I'll just rotate the shoulder. And then that is -25 here. 0 here. Thanks for subscribing, man. And then -1 here. Cool. And then I'll just change this one as well to be -25 and -1. So we'll just change it to be -25 and -1. And then we'll just change the right up here to be like that. So now it will, and then once it's like right here, we'll spawn in the tablet. So then you can't really see that distinction and it'll go clear as day. At least it should. Let's save that. And what I'll do is I'll now make this one the new baked animation. I think I should be able to click on that animation though. And oh, maybe I can't. Let's see. Where's the animations folder? Animations. No, it's fine. Let's just make a new one. Make it UE5 underscore pull up tablet new. Let's see how that one looks. Export animation set. Great. So it should go like that. So we'll see how that goes. I'll need to be changing the focus settings, but that's fine. Let's just go to the actual first person thing and pull up tablet new will be the new one. So let's see. If I go into, let me go out of here, go back like this and play. Tab. That's pretty good. Now I keep forgetting that when it's like this, I'm gonna need to change the actual, what do you call it? I'm gonna need to change the actual thing. So wait, also really quickly, like if it's the tab button, I just need to make it so it's a flip-flop, so it changes between the animation and then my animation blueprint as well. So that'll have to change as well. But I think this is a good point to leave it for this stream. I appreciate everyone for being here this entire time. We've like averaged like around like 15 viewers the entire time, which is really nice. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you for sticking with me through the development of Project Evie. If you guys are interested in this project and like what it will eventually be when I release it, it would be super cool if you guys could join the Discord. I'll put the link in the description if you guys, or in the comments right now, I mean, if you guys want the link to join the Discord so you guys can join the, let's see, right here, I believe it is. Yeah, here's the link. I'll put that in the description so you guys can also join if you guys are interested in the development of the Project Evie. Right there for anybody that wants to join. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. And I'll see you guys later. See you guys.